we know that getting into it never stops our shit talking to each other anyway. So
Yeah.
All right. So as far as a recap goes,
start the
last
recording.
time. Okay.
Yep, Kenneth started at the same time I did again.
So last time on Curse of the Crimson Throne, our heroes defeated Gage and Lamb. Barrow Walker got into close combat with him, but was shunted away into the crocodile pit, where he was defeated by Gobblegut the crocodile, but quickly saved thereafter by Luca, who performed quite an impressive maneuver. After that, you guys collected some strange items from Gadrin's hoard, including a brooch owned by the queen. And more interactions between the characters. But other than that, anything else to
add? We did find a knife that most likely belonged to what you said, the latch key killer, or the lock key killer.
The key lock killer.
Key lock killer.
And I'm just gonna assume that it's spelled L-O-C-K, not L-O-C-H, because that would be two very different things.
It's spelled L-O-C-K.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Didn't know if we were gonna go start fighting Nessie or something.
No, that's you guys, Luca. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, also the city was engulfed in massive fuck off riots because the king died and the queen ascended to the throne. People weren't happy about that. That feels important.
Yeah. There were some riots in the streets. Some of the Griffin rider fucks got shot down.
Yeah, that's just background fluff. That's not going to be relevant.
No. Don't you know we're playing Giant Slayer?
Yeah.
Playing Giant Slayer now? I think that's like 17 APs from now or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's quite a ways away.
We're going to be out there for fucking forever.
Giant Slayer is late. It's like
one of the last 4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think they really wanted to put in more giants after Rune Lords because they kind of stopped after that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But they really like giants.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys a classic question. What's your character afraid of?
You broke out the sentence. You said, "What is what?"
What is your character afraid of?
2 things. He more likely he's afraid of not being able to find his family that went missing. But in terms of just abject fears, I think at this point he would kind of be afraid of that one street that has the hands reaching out to grasp people. Just because the 2 times he's had family disappear, it's been on that road. Whether it be rumor or not.
All right.
And Corvosa, you scary. And not even like in the comedically over the top way like Udislav. In Udislav, it kind of almost becomes mundane because it's like you swing a dead cat and you hit a horror movie plot line. It's like...
Given his association with the Sable Company and all the people that died over the years, probably fell into his death. Not afraid of heights so much, it's the fall.
It's not even fall. Right. It's
Don't you mean
at the end?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's a sudden stop at the end.
You should be afraid of that, Loki.
It's called survival instinct.
Right.
I was referencing our fall damage dispute there.
I gotcha. We've got Michael's rule of fall damage.
Yeah, fall damage is one of the reasons I tried that one system I did. Mm-hmm. That went straight to the kill you points.
Michael's been waiting for this moment to get back at Loki for about 4 years.
I
Let
know.
me show you
yeah.
how fall damage works.
Loki, whatever you do, don't go into the ethereal plane. Just full heads up.
Been planting little seeds in his brain, like, yeah, you should play the Hippogriff Rider.
Yeah, do it. Nothing bad could possibly happen. Oh no, I suffer the consequences of my actions.
Oh no, my
Those
hubris.
things are so annoying.
Anyway, that place I was talking about for fears, it's called Avenue of Arms, which is honestly a very fun thing that they've never elaborated on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're really good about that, and I mean this in a good way, where they describe something interesting and then they just never elaborate on it. They're like, "Yeah, that's something for you. You figure that out."
If we want to go back to it eventually for ourselves, we can, but we didn't.
All right, so I got Luca and Merrick, their fears.
Vic's fear would be finding himself without a calling.
Going $2 into debt.
Trying to decide if I should be really literal or really like psychological with it. That's why it's taken me longer.
You can do both or one or the other.
Well, he's trying to decide. I guess I'll.
All right, Kier.
Most pressing or most recent would be relapse. But also think he has a fear of drowning.
That's a Kenneth classic.
Is it?
That's what Mordecai's fear was in Dark Heresy.
Once
Drowning
she
does seem
tried
pretty
more
bad.
characterization out of me there.
I mean, burning to death is objectively worse, if you ask.
Oh, yes.
Down to either the past or future of what Kier's going to become.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to add burning to death and drowning. They both sound terrible. Also, being crushed. That sounds horrible.
Hypoxia isn't too bad. Just lack of oxygen in the atmosphere you're breathing. People die from that without knowing all the time. Usually in mines, but still.
Yeah, but like I've held my breath underwater, and that's not comfortable. So
That's the carbon dioxide buildup. It actually burns your lungs a little bit.
I was sitting over here trying to figure out something interesting and metaphorical, and I just suddenly realized I was like, the perfect thing was becoming undead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, judging by your appearance, wouldn't I not like to judge too much, but wouldn't fire be a fear?
He certainly doesn't like it, but I've got a little something more going on than that. There's definitely like an aversion, I would agree, but it's not full on Martian
Not like
Manhunter.
phobia, but like probably like a healthy fear of fire.
Yes. Yeah.
What about a mirror?
Whoa! I just
yes, I
start
remember
there.
last time, Vic. You also managed to find You managed to find the lady who was missing that ring that Gadrin stole. That's also notable from last time.
Also, I'm sorry, am I getting sass about my appearance from the only other guy in the party with a large facial scar?
The giant ugly group. We're casting stones, man.
Hey, my guy just looks plain looking with a little bit of gruffness. Okay.
I didn't talk shit about anyone. Except for Loki.
Oh, that's good. You had a mask on.
All right, so I
Wait,
think
have the
I
rest
got
of us seen
Nope, just Vic.
Pharaoh?
Or sorry,
just
not Vic. Just
Luca,
just
I
Luke.
believe.
Yes.
You guys have seen his alter ego, but not his face.
I've proven myself to be fairly trustworthy since I literally dove in after him.
Yeah, you didn't
All
have
right,
to do that.
so-
You could have kept beating the shit out of Gadrin, and I would have just gotten murdered by a gator, and that would have been the end of it.
The floor is pretty much open to you guys. If I remember last time, Luca and Barrow were going to try to make their way to meet up with Merrick and Kier.
We don't. I don't think we know that Kier lives with him. We just were told by Merrick to find him at the whatever the place is called that has the Griffin people,
The Great Tower.
the Great Tower. And I do
actually-
remember. I think Merrick is the only one that introduced himself by name, but I don't know how many people heard it because I think it was when we were first in the tarot card place.
Yes. I know
And I know
Merrick's name, but for different reasons.
Yeah. Luca would have heard it there, and I think maybe Vic, but if Barrow knows it for other reasons, that's separate.
Mm-hmm.
And Kira, of course, knows.
So, since we're about to get into something with all of those characters, Vic, what are you doing?
Oh, I was going to add something to that. Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
I was trying to look through my notes. What? Go ahead.
I was going to say I would probably go separate at a slightly different time to meet up with him there because A, need to change identity, and B, I want to try to do a diplomacy check here in the Gray to try to gather up rumors about a Keylock killer, in the past. Who the type of people that he killed or something like that. Any information, nothing like specific on the victims per se, but just general.
And you said you wanted to do a knowledge local for that?
I was going to do a diplomacy to gather rumors. Because I get a +4 bonus to that when I am in my social identity. Yeah, so that would be 22.
I think there is actually a section for gathering rumors.
And then after this, I would vigilante identity and catch up with Luca a little later. That was.
So you said it is a 22?
Yes, 18 + 4, unless my mental math is wrong.
All right. So that is enough to gather some obscure knowledge, which I will go ahead and say is a couple people spread around the rumor that the Keylock killer dismembers all of his victims because he's a necromancer.
All right. I asked in the good section of town then.
Yes,
oh, yeah.
Especially the people you're asking, that's the information they'd give you.
Yeah, okay. Good to know. Appreciate that. Also, I would ask Luca to not go spreading my name around. I hope that's without saying, but I'll just make sure.
When you mentioned it, Luca would just acknowledge, I'm not going to betray the trust that someone placed in me, especially in the times where I kind of look out at probably still smoke in those distances. Times are trouble for everyone, and it's hard to keep a straight head on.
That guy from SpongeBob just says, "My leg! My
leg!"
They reuse that same sound bit so
I
often.
love that, though.
Me too.
That was classic. Anyway.
But yeah, that's all I got. So sorry to interrupt. We can head back to Vic.
All right, Vic. Let me know what you're doing.
I was trying to look through my notes, but I think it happened right at the end, so I didn't write it down. What did I gather information-wise from that woman with the ring?
Information-wise. Her?
What's that? Sorry, you're
so. Are you
out.
Are you asking what did you were able to track down basically where she lives last session?
Okay, so I had not confronted her.
You have not confronted her yet, I don't believe so, unless I'm forgetting something from last session.
All right. Well, then I'm going to, I guess, diplomacy to ask around to gather where she actually lives and, what she looks like.
It would be easy enough, especially as probably look through records and other things and cross-reference the name on the ring and eventually find the address.
All right, and then I will go up and knock on the door.
Shortly thereafter, the woman answers it.
I'm looking for...
opens the door, peeking through first, and then she kind of holds the door cracked open.
Good... Is it morning, afternoon? I don't know. Good day. I'm looking for information about a person named Emma.
She goes, yes, that's me.
I believe I found something that belongs to you. He would do a diplomacy to try and make his way in.
All right.
We could talk for a minute. Want to make sure I have
You
the right
step
person.
forward, and she kind of
Steps into the crack of the door to block me.
Yeah. She's not exactly crazy about, because you're not. Are you like
Sure.
wearing your bank attire, or
Yeah, he's in his bank
do you
attire.
not just look like a random dwarf with a missing eye?
He's in his bank attire.
Okay, then she'd be a little bit less standoffish, and you could probably push her way through the door if you wanted to.
Well, he'd say it nicely. May I come in to discuss for a minute?
She'll say, what do you have?
A piece of jewelry? Did you lose any recently?
Her eyes kind of light up, and she moves back to let you in. She goes, yes, I'm missing a ring from my husband.
Do you remember the color?
She's pretty much able to perfectly describe the ring to you.
So if she describes it, then he would reveal it and hand it over to her.
And she would go, I was sure I'd never see this again.
How did you lose it?
Trouble to bring it back. Of course I did.
Sorry, I asked, how did you lose it?
Oh, how'd you lose it? Well, you would know that she probably got it pickpocketed off of her. But she would say that she probably dropped it somewhere.
And when did your husband give it to you?
She says maybe 6 months ago.
Is he around?
Yes, he's with the guard, though, so he's out trying to control the riots.
Very good. Well, if you... Out of character, I gotta pause for a minute. I can't think of anything information-wise I need from these people.
Just kill him to be sure.
Go ahead and start. Use the knife. A copycat killer.
Sweep the leg, Vicky.
Just my advice from the last time that Michael ran a campaign. When I was Tiber, we're like, which one's the evil one? And I say, shoot them both. That way you know you got the right one.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Well, Emma, I'm glad I could return it to you. If you ever need anything, you can find me at the Temple of Abadar.
Of course. What's your name?
My name is Vixen Hammerhand.
She takes note, and if there's nothing else, she'll let you out.
Yeah, he stepped back and head out, and he is heading. He's going to take the ledger of Gadrin Lamb's criminal activities to. Did you say the guard or the?
The guard will buy it from you. Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to take that to the guard. They would be the ones that would want to know all the criminal shit.
You would get pretty well interrogated about where you got this from. So, what do you say?
Oh, I thought you'd jump back to the other group. I was going to think about it for a minute.
Oh, okay. We can jump back if you need to. So,
Yeah.
I just probably going to be a minute where you're not going to be able to do anything. Which is why I wanted to start out with you here.
I did have a question before we go into where I meet Merrick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just curious. Would it make more sense to go meet somebody at the guardhouse before I meet them there, or after I meet with Merrick? Because I was going to do my own investigation about the Keylock killer.
Where do you live?
Well, I'm just leaving from the Gray here because I just talked to Barrow Walker.
So it could be on your way because the guard outpost Citadel Volshnek or it's a hard word. Okay,
Gotcha.
Volshnek is over here.
Yeah.
This
My character would live in Ridgefield if it mattered, but I'm just looking for any of the people I know, which would be like the captain that I worked for or Growl. So I'm not sure if they would be there or they'd be in like a local dispatch.
They are no one you know would be there right now. Everyone is gone trying to take care of crime happening all over the city.
No, that's fine. So then I'll just go meet Merrick then, and I'll wait until another day for that.
All right.
Eric would probably be spending his time at the guardhouse or the tower.
So it's Luca and Barrow trying to make their way across the city.
It probably is two separate groups because I'm at least like an hour behind him, I'd probably say, between gathering rumors and changing.
Okay. Then let me check something really quick. You both give me a 1d6 roll.
All right.
Try to traverse the city.
Who's rolling a 1d6 roll?
I think he said Gombo.
Just, both of you, actually. If you're both leaving in separate groups, I need one from both of you.
Gotcha.
It's like swapping back and forth between microphones on you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can fix it.
Because it's not like you cut out completely, it's just you get really muffled and then you come back in.
Hello?
Ew.
That sounds pretty clear to me.
Yep.
I think it should be better now.
Yeah.
All right. So you are both pretty able to walk through the city and avoid conflicts if you wish. As you're moving through the city, though, Barrow, you hear basically what sounds like a scuffle going on as you're encountering one of these street intersections, and you see a crowd of people sort of surrounding this one quite well dressed man, and they don't seem very happy with him.
Can I do like a perception or a sense motive to see what they're particularly upset about?
Give me either or.
Because I'm not actually Batman. I don't favor the rich people explicitly. Same modifier either way, so perception.
Fucking just an upstart vigilante throwing shade at Batman. Classic.
Hey, he's my favorite superhero. I'm just being realistic.
Yeah.
16.
All right. Let me just pull up what you're able to hear for that, apparently. All right. So you peek around the corner and you see a band of rioting laborers running a mob, and the things you're hearing them saying are things like "Die, Dandy," "Death to the false queen." You hear one of the large dock workers say, "Bet you never worked a honest day's wage in your life, eh?" And then a woman screams out and she says, "My brother had his arms crushed by a barrel on the docks when he was younger than you. Never raised a mug after that wrist again. You want to know what that feels like?" And the mob is seemingly getting ready to attack this guy.
The inner war here between what Gombo the player would want to do and what I think logically the character would do. I guess I have to go with logically the character here. I'm just gonna slip by this and not get involved.
Okay.
Out of character, I don't like that because it feels like I'm refusing the call to adventure, which I always hate doing. But at the same time, it's just like I've got somewhere to be. I've got someone to meet. I've already got a mission. These angry people have valid points, and if he dies, he'll be judged by my god anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
All right.
You'll have two coppers
other than
handy
that,
and
you
keep
were
an eye on
able
the alley
to
on the way back,
avoid
huh?
most of the conflict going on.
Out of character, that was like a big time call to adventure moment, but I couldn't rationalize it.
Mhm.
All right. So you guys are able to get to the Great Tower. They're not going to let you in.
Yeah, I imagine I would get to the gates and there'd be people stopping me.
Yeah.
My character would have been keeping an eye out, just checking out the window every now and then.
Didn't you tell me to say something to the guards or say I'm looking for someone in particular?
Yeah, I probably would have just given his name, Mark.
Yeah. I would just tell them I'm looking for someone named Mark, and if they could tell them I'm here.
About 10, 15 minutes, the message eventually gets to Marek.
Right. At that, he'll make his way down. He'd probably notify that Kerr. Looks like our friends from the other night are here. You want to come along?
Might as well. I found something else out about what's going on.
Nothing else. Something to do. Rather than just hold up here, all besieged and such. Yeah, he'd make his way down.
So it'd be pretty easy to probably meet up with each other. You probably aren't going to want to have your big meeting right outside the Great Tower, considering the angry mob that's been forming.
Yeah, I would say I would have let just Luca go straight up, because I feel like the guy who won't show his face going up to the tower filled with guards and asking to meet with someone is highly suspicious. so I would have hung back anyway.
All right.
I'm not sure if we want to consult with the other one we've met recently, but I feel like we should all have a talk about what happened previously and possibly return to that house that had the woman with the tarot cards. See if we can get some closure there, and maybe she might have some more information that I'm looking for, as well as the rest of you. Not sure if the deeds we did last night.
Did we find her?
Yes,
we did find her cards.
Severed head, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say severed head.
Yeah, but like, see if there's like evidence.
I gotcha.
At the place that we met her, like, see if there's any kind of clues there.
Yeah.
And possibly discuss what we should do going forward, or if this is going to be basically done from here, is how he would say it. I'm not sure how he would say it, but like, do we go our separate ways, or do we keep investigating and see how deep this is going? Because there's something fucky here. And Luca would actually not be like too proud. He would say, and honestly, I could use any help I can get while looking for my daughter. If she is truly captured by this serial killer, I will need all the assistance I have. My skill set is limited.
I'll be glad to help.
Kieran looks a little conflicted until you remind him about the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'll help you too.
Yeah, sympathy. Fuck y'all.
Do you believe that the false woman that contacted us has something to do with your daughter's disappearance?
I do not know if she has something to do with it, but I'm really hoping it's not going to go all the way up, because we did find the brooch of the queen amidst possessions of somebody who had a knife from a serial killer.
Though, but do we have any leads on
some sort of inscription on it?
Yeah, but do we have any leads on the woman that actually met with us? Because clearly that wasn't the one that
we do not. We know she was probably real, but she's been long dead, and whoever gave us this mission was either clearly not her or some kind of creature.
Or whatever it was, one of those cards back.
Did we ever get her name or anything like that?
Nope.
We were very bad at names.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, some random person. Sorry, this is out of character. Random person reached out to me and said, "Hey, you want to murder a dude for me?" I feel like the less information, it was safer for everyone at the time.
True.
But now it seems kind of poignant, and I don't know, how many people in this. Well, I imagine there's a good number of people in the city that do tarot cards, but maybe a few less that are known for doing tarot cards, but recently disappeared.
And also, the dagger has the inscription for an inspiration of a father. I am doubtful that is just a direct jab towards me. Perhaps maybe some kind of priest is involved. Maybe that's the next target and he just hasn't gotten there yet, and that's why there's been a delay in kills. Maybe he has specific targets. I do still have some connections in the guard. I was going to ask if I might be able to find out any information of past kills or where the locations were.
Although, did we left the severed head at the dock, right?
Yes. I believe so.
Do we know if the guards ever made their way there to just
they probably haven't had time.
Yeah, I suspect
there's been a riot all night. I imagine some thieves getting killed is the least of their problems.
That's fair. Yeah.
And in that section of the city, their patrols are sparse even at the best of times.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Well, although all those other kids might have seen who took your daughter.
Wasn't someone saying that a lot of the stuff at the house where we all met at was illusory?
Yes,
yeah,
our number was saying that.
I think 2 of you passed the check and was able to see through it.
I think the only one who noticed was Vic, who isn't there.
Yeah, I remember he did say that out loud, so that's why I was in character saying
he said it out loud, but none of you guys noticed it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious to see what it looks like now.
I know the one who has the fair amount of the possessions that we found there is Vic, and we could probably find him somewhere roaming around the bank if we want to gather him up as well.
Might as well. I think all the hands we get.
If you wish to get answers from some of Gadrin's former enslaved children, I may be able to track one of them down if you think that would help.
I think we're good on our kidnapping kid quota at the moment.
I think we're good on that.
Try not to bludgeon them. We just want to know a few things.
Out of character, I was just gonna go back that town and start asking around for a kid that spent 2 gold coins. Just grab the same one.
I know we did ask him and he didn't know anything. So
well, you asked him if he had seen a blonde child. He said there's lots of blonde child. Now we ask who took someone away, and he wouldn't know where they're going. But
yeah, you guys didn't know. You guys didn't know the daughter wasn't in the building when you met that kid.
Yeah, so and now that you bring that up, Luke would probably put 2 to 2 together. What you're talking about, I was like, oh yes, we should ask the kids.
Oh, well, another option is there was that one guy did escape, right? Well, if we're gonna try to track him down, put feelers out, and just see if we could track him down, get some information from him. He might have some insights. Seemed like he was the lieutenant.
You guys would know him as Yargan Balko. He has been Gadrin Lamb's right-hand man and advisor for a couple of years. But he's also been known to run around in different outfits as well.
Yeah, you mentioned that idea, and I'm like checking the daggers I have in my belt, and I go, children are easier to track, though.
Yeah, but less information. So I think house first, and probably see if we could track down. I forgot his name.
His name is Yargan.
Yargan, that's it. Yeah, track down Yargan after the fact, and maybe while we're at the house, strategize that approach.
We can also divide and conquer. I can begin chasing down leads.
Yeah.
Find missing individuals if you'd prefer.
If we're looking for the best meeting spot, it will probably be my home. It's rather vacant right now, and it's rather close to. It's up in Ridgefield, and it's people keep to themselves there. So
I'm still of the mind we all meet at the place where we first met.
Well, yeah, I mean, but if we need to re-adjourn to somewhere else,
Oh, yeah.
that is a place that's like out of the way but easy to find.
I would not recommend making that house our regular meeting spot.
No, but if we get separated and we need to meet in a secondary location, is best chance of anything. Or if we want to meet close to there, there's the tavern known as the Posh and Turtle. That's an easy location to feel around for. It's good to have a fallback.
So we're going to need tools to start investigating the house. Like, I always hear, like, magnifying glasses are part and parcel with detectives. I don't.
Long moment of silence, and then I just go, I wouldn't know.
I, too, have read Herlock Sholmes. But yeah, if we don't have any other like ideas right now, I'd say I could take a detour and try to get a hold of our clergyman banker guy and meet you all at the house we met at before.
Sounds good. I'll make a quick side track to nearby general store just see if I could find some tools.
A jar of dust and a brush.
Yeah.
What you have in mind?
You go into the store and you're like, excuse me, good sir, what do you have for investigating crime scene?
Do you have a ghost hunting kit?
I think that exists.
And a detective kit.
What up, demons? It's your boy.
I think a magnifying glass is an item.
It's surprisingly expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's almost as expensive
anything
as
with
spyglass.
Medieval times is going to be expensive, I think. Like a telescope, I know was crazy.
Yeah. I think he'll largely just focus on getting like a pencil, a little notebook, and maybe even some like if there's like graphite dust or something. Maybe some ball bearings.
Yeah, we can work out the price for that later, but it won't be more than like a gold piece for all of it.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see. Just curious. Investigator kit, 40 gold pieces. Alchemy crafting kit, backpack, bedroll, soap, pen, water skin, formula book. Less than I thought. Sorry, I was curious.
Yeah, I get it. I was searching it too.
So was that a yes or a no on me tracking down that orphan?
I did say it was probably an important idea to.
So are you trying to do that before you guys track down?
Yeah, I don't need to follow Merrick into the general store, so I might do a little
and I'm just going to go tell Vic of our plans and see if he's in. Because he also has some of the items that we found that might prove important, so.
God, I hope I can get a good roll to track down this kid so everyone shows up at that house and I show up with another burlap sack. And everyone's like, oh, God.
You can give me a diplomacy for gather information again.
Okay. This one will not have the +4 because I'm doing it vigilante style.
The bag is just a white and red bag. Orphan, I choose you.
With all of the modifiers going against you here, you're not in the same part of the city as he is. A lot of people probably don't know who this kid is. I think you know his first name.
I know that he's a street rat, but I would be spending 2 gold coins.
Yeah, but again, not being in the right part of the city is a big part.
Also, who says he's even spent them yet? Because it's been a riot.
An 8 is not going to find
when
the boy.
When you're that kind of live that kind of life, you want to spend the money quick because it just makes you a target for someone bigger with more knives.
Or you could have invested them in the bank.
God. You know, it's the financially smart thing to do, Street Orphan. No, not buying yourself food, giving money to the bank. We're the wealthiest organization in the city, thanks to hardworking people like you.
Is the prudent investment.
Now, dear boy, let me introduce you to the magic of compound interest.
And it's gone.
Anyway, time to find the banker.
Oh God, it's gone. Oh, I forgot about that. And it's gone.
Yeah, you guys won't say it to his face.
Every investment does carry with it risk.
So who is tracking
For
down
you,
Vic?
not for me.
I'd be tracking down Vic. I'd probably just head straight to the bank.
Yeah, you ask. You can, Vic. You would probably have gotten back to the bank at this point. Let's actually.
Do you want to do the guard scene real quick?
Yeah. Let's get back to switch back to Vic.
I assume I got there. Am I going to the same guard tower that Loki is a part of?
No. You're going, if you look at where my arrow's pointing on the map, this is Citadel Volfneck, the headquarters of the Corvosan Guard. This is the great tower, the headquarters of the Sable Company.
So is the Sable Company, so the Corvosan Guard is like the city.
Basically, to make it really simple, the Corvosan Guard is like the police. The Sable Company Marines are like the military. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, so I would definitely be going to the police. The local crime authorities. Where is the Bank of Abadar again? And do you mind if I write on this map just so we
I don't care.
where those things are?
The Bank of Abadar, I believe it's in this building.
Okay. All right, so that's not far from me. And where did that woman live? Ish. If it doesn't stand out to you, it doesn't matter.
Ish. I can give you a better location if I look back in the book, but somewhere, I believe in Old Corvosa, so like the other side of the city.
Okay, so I've roamed all over town on stubby little legs today.
Yeah, you guys have been all over.
All right, so on my way back, after probably grabbing some fish and chips from a street vendor, I'm heading to the guard.
Right now, the guard, they are pretty sparse. There's just two of them standing guard over the Citadel entrance. And when you bring the ledger, they'd bring forward a superior officer, probably one of the only ones that's there, and he would pay you out for that.
Fantastic.
They are going to ask you, like I said before, where you got it from.
So he would be honest and say that he was traveling on the church property and found items of interest, and after looking through them, realized that there was some kind of code here and took it upon himself to whittle through it, thinking it might be of value, and quite the opposite. It's going to be detriment to a lot of folks.
Do you recover anything else?
I did. I recovered a silver ring that belonged to a woman up in Old Town, and I've returned it already. Temple abides by its own rules.
And are you consciously not mentioning the brooch, Cope?
No, there's so many items. I don't think he has the brooch.
You do have the brooch.
I will go ahead and...
So there are only two things on... These are the two things that he took with him out of the vault. So he knows he has 20 other items if you want him to do a bluff.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a bluff. And then...
Yeah, I have a few. I have the key dagger, a gold ingot, and a golden crown of that loot.
He's gonna.
I'm going to
Could
move
he-
your guys' loot page into its own folder. You guys should be able to see that now. And then I'm going to move the notable loot from where I have it into your loot so that you guys can see it without going through a bunch of tabs.
All I know is I only took Gadrin's Masterwork dagger. That was the only thing I took.
Where is it?
Also, I like how the banker's going to have access to all of our shit. He's like, I'll loan you some stuff.
All your shit.
I use Silver Tongue Haggler. You can use that as just an immediate action. Number of times a day.
All right. Now you guys should be able to open up your loot and see Loot's Mysterious Dagger, Mysterious Brooch, and Zalar deck. Yeah, they buy it and they thank you and send you on your way.
So 500 gold pieces for that?
Yes, 500. Whatever I wrote down last time.
On the way
I believe
back,
you spent 9 it as well. So
on the way back, could I stop by and pick up is there a magic shop where I could buy a wand of Cure Light Wounds?
Yeah, there are magic shops all around. Something as simple as a Cure Light Wounds wand you'll be able to find pretty simply.
Never mind. I need more money. I was thinking
Yeah,
it was 500.
you guys are sitting on quite a lot of money.
I've got 220 gold, but there's an interest rate if you borrow it from me.
Well, you're sitting at quite a lot of
absolutely
assets worth quite a lot of money, I should say. That the banker now has locked in his gem locker.
Well, I mean, what'd you expect when Cope made a banker character?
All right, so you make your way back to the bank.
Yeah.
You'll have
No, he
couple
stops and
of,
gambles at the casino for a little while. Yes, he goes back to church.
you'll have a couple of hours before, because they were traveling all over the city, before they're able to make their way to the bank. And while you're at the bank, your little understudy, Leopo, shows up, pretty much waiting for you. And he says, well, where have you been? You've been gone like 2 days. People have told me you've been coming in and out, but you haven't stayed more than 15 minutes.
Have you finished reading the book?
Well, I've certainly read through a great bit of it. That's mostly why I wanted to talk to you. I have questions.
It's fantastic. All questions need to be submitted in written form.
When this guy stabs you and turns into Darth Vader, it will 100% be justified.
We're looking at the big bad evil guy right there.
He goes,
I wanted to ask him where the bathroom was, and he had me fill out paperwork. We're like, never mind, Vic, you have this coming. We're on his side now.
he looks at you sideways and he goes, are you serious?
Are they questions about the scripture and the order of numbers?
Yeah.
Well, I often find that writing out the question sometimes gives you the answer itself.
He kind of gives a groan and then he walks into the other room. And how long do you stay around?
He's got 2 days worth of ledgers to catch up on. He's behind, so he's going to be there probably all night.
Then in a couple of minutes, he brings you out a piece of scrap paper that has this written on it.
That is an interesting question. I guess you would need to learn more about those political candidates and factions and understand their agenda in order to more completely understand whether it presents neutrality in and of itself.
Takes your answer and he sits on it and he says, I'll be back, and he leaves.
Wait. Leopa, I need a bit more detailed help, if you don't mind. It's going to put your studies back some, but I do need help in some of my ledgers.
Sorry, it just, the call just randomly kicked me out for some reason.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, Leopa, wait a minute.
No, that was Leopo's response. He's gone.
Please leave a voicemail. Who
this? So what did you say to Leopo?
Yeah, I said, wait a minute, Leopo. I have to ask a favor. If it's okay with you, it may set your studies back some, but I have a more pressing need. I need some help with my ledgers. If you're interested in learning how to do those instead of studying right now.
Yeah, he'd come and he'd let you teach him how to do it.
Yeah, so he'd just walking through the basic calendar payments, seeing when the next is doing, tracking through. Not go into the actual calculations because Vic's the type that he would prepare the calculations months in advance. So the calculations would be written out for probably 6 months in advance of what needs to be collected by whom on what day. And then he'd show him how to see if the person came into the bank to make their payment on their own and whether it's been tallied in the ledger, and then to go put it on the individual ledger for their loan or whatever their monetary purpose is. So basically teach him how to do his job.
Yeah.
Which is surprisingly simple.
Which is also your job, to teach him how to do his job, if you remember.
Yeah, he's my partner, but he's got to learn the book of numbers first. I don't know why. My boss made me learn it.
I dig holes for dead people, and I think I might be having more fun.
So let's switch back to Luca. How are you approaching trying to get to Vic right now? Because it sounds like he's spending most of the rest of his day inside the bank, which is being heavily guarded right now, as I described before. Golden crossbows peering over the walls. The bank really does not give a fuck. If someone tries to break in, they're going to kill them.
Yep. I would just try to get somebody's attention as polite as can be, as well as I can be polite with my kind of gruff temperament. I'm looking for a person who I believe works at this bank. I believe he has a scar on part of his face. Seems to be a worshiper of your faith, and I believe he works here.
You're able to get someone's attention, and while you're teaching Leopo these ledgers, Vic, for some reason I blanked on your name. One of the other lackey sort of ranked bankers comes in, and they tell you some guy's shouting for you outside.
That hasn't happened yet today. Guess I'll go see who it is. He would go up to, I don't know, an arrow slit or peep through or the wall somewhere where he can look out where they can't see him.
Yeah,
you would just see me standing there waiting.
Indeed.
And you go back down to Leopa and I don't know, do we want to do a roll to see if the kid's getting it?
Yeah, I'll roll. I gave him stats, I believe. So let me.
I mean, it's pretty simple ticking and tying mathematics. You look in one book, and if the clerk wrote down this person made this payment, you go over to that person's ledger, pull their file, Was that the payment they were supposed to make? Perfect. Mark it down.
So, what do you want to call it? You want to call it an intelligence check, or?
Do we? I guess he didn't have any skills in profession.
Yeah, profession, bookkeeping.
Skills. He has. No, he doesn't have any profession yet.
All right. Well, we decided on profession banker, so in the future it will probably be that. But just simply, I would guess either intelligence or wisdom.
All right. You're the one teaching him. So I'll let you decide which stat you appeal to more, intelligence or wisdom.
I think it's not complex.
Better.
I think it's not complex. You're literally looking to copy the same words over. I mean, I would say it's just wisdom. Can you pay attention while you're doing it?
Just
he looks like he's getting it.
All right. Leopo? How do you say your name again?
Leopo.
I want you to take the rest of the evening, catch up these books from the last 2 days worth of payments for my portfolio of clients. Here are all their names. You're just looking for those names. Relay it over. I have to go back out. If anyone asks, I'm on church business. I should be back tomorrow.
Okay.
You're doing great, son.
Is everything all right? You've been spending a lot of time out of the bank, Vic.
Well, we had trouble with the properties. Out of character, was that like down by the river?
I think it's Old Corvosa.
Old Corvosa, way over here, not up by the river, but
we had trouble with some of the properties that were in escrow before foreclosure that are in my portfolio in Old Corvosa. I'm trying to deal with it.
Oh, well, good luck, Vic.
Thank you, Leopo. He put on his cloak and to the banker's side. He has a reversible cloak. I paid for double, figuring that it would be a little bit more expensive.
I could feel the alignment shifting on this guy as Vic talks to him.
Maybe it's just my own real life trauma of people and when I was in school actually doing this to me. But when he slid that note of the question, I had this mental image of as he's reading it, Vic is just adding commas and correcting any grammatical flaws as he's going through, which is just the shittiest fucking feeling.
Yo, we used to gather on a weekly basis to submit our 18-page memos, and the guy would have everyone in the room follow your memo. Everyone please flip to page 7, third paragraph down. Tell me why you used that form of the word there.
Fuck.
And he would just purposefully embarrass the shit out of everyone. And we would sit in there for 2-3 hours going through everyone's memo while he nitpicked the shit out of all of them.
I mean, do they have college courses for soul crushing?
This wasn't even college. This was actually when I started my banking career.
No, I'm telling you, like, do people have to go to a college class to learn how to crush other people's spirits like that so effectively?
I feel like it's just something you learn.
It's called a business degree.
It's like acting. Some people just have a talent.
See, I think it's like law school. You don't actually learn how to destroy other people's hopes and dreams until you get the workplace experience. And that's when they grind it into you.
That checks
The most
out.
self-contradictory humans I've ever seen are business professors, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They've got all the demeanor and, I don't know, the way a professor acts, right? They're kind of nice, kind of friendly. But with all of the like soul crushing fucking requirements of someone who's been in business.
Yeah. I would second that. I only had one that I ever actively liked, and he was like, I got out of business because it fucking sucked and was terrible and everyone was mean to everybody. I spent 10 years in this, and this, and then I had an opportunity to come back and teach investments. And I was like, wait a minute. So who's going to try and make me feel bad every day? Nobody. I get to be here and be nice. So he was my inspiration. Anywho, all right.
Well, it's good to hear that at least some of them got souls.
Yeah. Well, one. I think he had a secret get out of jail.
They had the partition. You know, they all give their souls to make one of what would be considered a human soul.
One actually.
So you're saying he's the God Emperor of finance.
You're the God Emperor of business.
So what does that mean?
10,000
That means
final
he has a soul.
100,000 businessmen gave their souls to create one businessman with a soul.
Who cares? I also loved him because immediately, like day one, he gave us his background of the jobs he had been through, and he had spent like 3 years at 3 different stints before he went into teaching. And he was like, by my 3rd year, I was pretty sure I was going to get fired because I was terrible at it. And that was just every job. He was like, and I figured out I was going to be a failure at this. So I moved on to the next thing and found something before they fired me. So I really liked that guy.
Yeah. If it's anything like my office experience, that checks out. Anyone who refused to get their will crushed got out of there when their contract was up. People who remain are the husks.
Mm-hmm.
The zombies.
Yeah. You know, I haven't had a day off in 3 years, but you're stopping after 18 months? Oh, I guess this job broke you. I'm like, no, I think I'm the one that hasn't been broken.
We all break eventually. It just depends on how long you stay.
There's literally an alien tether from the top of your skull into the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
It is feeding off of you, dude.
Connects to Bobby Kodak's belly button. Anyway, back to D&D. Or
All right. Jump out of the building of banking. Swan dive down and power hero land.
They're able to let you out the gates much in the same fashion they were able to let you in.
Okay.
Unless you just want to jump.
I grab...
He likes the dramatic exit.
An eagle cries like in Assassin's Creed.
I fall into a pile of hay.
Still ask one dumb question, like, I'm out. Jumps out the window.
But before I go out, I'm going to reverse my cloak, pull my scarf over my chest so that all my regalia is covered, and head out the door, dressed the same way that... Is this Luca?
Yeah.
Okay, so dressed in the same manner Luca would have seen me in before. Nod to him, and as I hurry up to him, I'm going to grab you up near the shoulder by the arm and say, keep moving off of the steps. We have to move away. And get him away from the crowd so that we're not standing in front of the bank talking about
Quick, before they take all your money. I mean, come this way.
I like how it's established now that every character thinks I'm just going to stand there and talk in the open about everything. Come on, let's go this way before we expose what happened.
Not here.
And my guy just silently just looks at people and just follows them.
I talked to you in the middle of a graveyard, I'll have you know.
No, I know. It's just funny because it's been twice this session so far.
Well, first impressions.
Right. Yeah, we get to a place that we can talk, and I just inform Vic that we're going to be meeting at the house that we were summoned to the previous night to try to figure out what's going on, and wanted to invite Vic because, one, he has a lot of the evidence that might lead towards what's going on and what's happening, as well as the fact that if there's a connection between any of this, it might help lead to my daughter. So I would like to have him there to see if anything correlates with anything we found, as well as the fact that, you know, he was the only one to see through the illusions before. Maybe he might be able to see something that we don't see this time.
Out of character, you may remember when Gadrin was being held back by us and you were questioning him. Well, you may not remember because you were in a rage, but Vic did say something along the lines of, you've taken enough from the rest of us. We're going to find this girl.
Yeah.
No matter
he
how
probably wouldn't have probably heard it, but probably didn't really think too much of it.
Right.
He's probably used to people doing a lot of empty words kind of thing.
I'd be happy to meet with the group there. Where are we going tonight?
I believe I'm on my way to meet them there. If you have anything you need to do beforehand.
No. Do you mind if I walk with you?
No, that's quite all right. Just mind the shoulder pads, as I am wearing spiked armor like I always have.
How old was your daughter?
Let me go look that up because I actually did write it down.
Typical dad.
Let's see.
I had to go pick up a prescription for my kid a couple of weeks ago. She got strep throat, and the guy at the pharmacy gave him the name. He looked at it. He looked up at me, and he goes, I said I had to get it for my daughter because I'm always worried about, like, do I have to have her ID? What's the deal? I don't know. I don't do this much. He looks up at me and he goes, and here's the daddy test. What's her birthday? Like, full on, you're not going to know this. I did, but a lot of dads just are not good with that kind of shit.
Two things. One, his daughter would be 10 years old. And what you were talking to me about that just made me think of the story that some other person I talk with online every now and then was talking about how he had to take his kid to a emergency room because they fell down. But his wife was at work, and when he took them there, they made him sign all kinds of paperwork, asked him all kinds of questions, and then he went back there like a couple months later because his daughter is an idiot and fell down again.
Yeah.
With his wife at that time, and then they didn't ask him a single goddamn question.
Well, he had already put it all on file.
Oh no, this is a different hospital.
Oh, jeez. Nice.
Like, but they were like they were doing things like asking how she got it, where was he at the time, like kind of implying that he might have hit her or something.
Ooh.
And then when the mother was there, they're like, "Oh, kids do this all the time. It's no big deal."
Yeah.
Like, that sucks.
Jeez.
Sorry, it just made me think of that because fathers and doctors seems to be a rough time right now.
Yeah, they like to pick on us.
Don't remember, you're not taking care of your kid. You're babysitting for the mother.
Yeah, that's not. I'm not allowed to say that.
I know. There's a lot of people who do say that, though, and every time I hear that, I'm like, this sounds asinine.
Oh, I've let it come out of my mouth once or twice, and I got read the riot act.
Which you deserve, to be fair.
Oh, absolutely. Which just shows what a jaded world I live in, that it never has crossed my mind that that's not the right thing for a dad to say. Now I know.
I learned my lesson now.
I lost my left ear and both pinkies, but now I know.
Yes, we make our way to that abandoned house that we met with the illusionary woman.
All right. As you guys step back in to the house for the first time since our very first session, you guys step in, and it's clear that this house has not been inhabited in a couple of weeks. It looks very different than the last time you were here. There's no furniture. All the furniture is in destroyed pieces of wood. There aren't any rugs or wall hangings like there were before. And there's a thick layer of dust, only disturbed by the footprints that you guys left the last time you were here.
And
Michael, I have a short list of things that I would have bought from the general store. Basically, stuff from the Chronicler's kit, with substituting like a. I guess my question is, can I just spend 40 gold pieces for the Chronicler's kit and just swap out a few things, like nothing major, like ball bearings instead of an extra journal and stuff like that?
Yeah, we'll just run it by me after session, but for right now, we'll just get with it.
That works.
I have a question as we're in this space, Michael. You said there was footprints in the dust that were what we were left?
Yes.
Can I do a survival check to see if the woman that we talked to left footprints in the dust as well?
Yes, go ahead.
Come on. Hey, that's what I'd like to see.
No, she did not.
What are the odds that she was a ghost?
Most likely an illusion of some sort.
As Merrick says, what are the odds that she was a ghost? The Harrow deck that I believe Vic has on him, correct? I believe it was one of the 2 items he kept with him. You guys see it start to glow from within his pocket, and an image projects from the Harrow deck, and the woman stands before you once again. And she says, well, I'm sure you have a lot of questions.
Ha! Called it.
I guess the chances of a ghost is fairly high.
For her sake, I hope not.
Are you a ghost or a spirit?
I'm not entirely... Oh, I guess I didn't write down the stats for the Harrow deck here. Oh, wait, no, are they in the... What the hell? I thought I had them down. The story I told you is mostly true. My son Aaron did die at the hands of Gadrin Lamb, but shortly after, I went out and I tried to seek vengeance for him myself. And I'm sure, as you were able to find, in Gadrin's lair, I met much the same fate as my son.
Gadrin was not a kind or dutiful man. He was a creep. I'm sorry that you and your son passed the way that you did, but as it stands now, we have more questions than we had before we took your advice to go seek him out. We're looking for now a serial killer, as well as a possible connection between Gadrin and the royal family. I am very confused, and I do not know what's going on.
I'm afraid that I truly only know what I've told you just now. The quarrel between me and Gadrin was all that I intended to send you guys out to take care of. But it seems dark forces are working in the city, and my magic has not ceased to inhabit these hero cards. I suspect the forces of fate are acting in such a way that I might be able to continue to assist you.
So, are you a ghost or are you an arcane?
I'm not sure exactly what final outburst of magic caused this to happen, but currently my spirit inhabits this deck of hero cards. I was able to project my image in this house because I had such a strong connection to it in life, but without this hero deck, I would never be able to manifest again.
But if you don't mind me asking, what are when we're not here, where are you?
In the deck of cards, you just said that.
Right, but I mean, like, are you perceiving from the cards, or are you just in a void?
She's able to tell the surroundings.
Okay. Almost like she's scrying through the cards or something like that.
I'm trying to pull up the exact effects.
Okay.
I thought I had written them down, but I just looked at the hero deck and they weren't in the GM only section.
So is this the only way we're able to communicate with you then? At least as far as you know?
You should be able to communicate with me anytime using the hero deck. That's the only way I know how.
Oh.
I'm waiting for Michael to get his focus before I add my 2 cents in. Because he was looking for something, so I just wanted to give him a second.
Find out.
I'm trying to remember, who was it that met you? Mark hasn't met you outside of your disguise yet, has he?
Nope, only Luca.
Okay.
Oh, are you undisguised right now?
Nope, I'm still disguised.
Okay.
Yeah, he met me at the graveyard undisguised, and then he disguised up and headed into town.
I feel like for effect purposes, the first time you let us see or let somebody see, you should let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. I will. I'll be very particular about that.
Is it in the back of I think it's in the back of the book.
Yeah, they do that sometimes.
Because this is at the point where she reveals the stats of the actual magical. Here it is.
I will say, while you're looking at that, the thing I do like, I actually like the ones that have separate books rather than all of them lumped into one, like Runelords and Curse have, because it's a lot easier to find the magical items that appear in each book.
Yeah. I wish, at least some of the older APs, that they do some newer stuff that I've seen do. I don't know if Pathfinder's been doing it, but other developers do it. Where in the part 1 of their 6-part adventure, they give a summary of each adventure, and they tell you who the important characters are up front, like page 2. That's so much nicer rather than getting surprised halfway through.
Yeah, they did a few of that in Legacy of Fire, and I think they expand on it as they go.
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as for Gombo, I know what he wants to know. Kind of a gray area. Delaro lived by the deck in life, and in death she has become the deck. Technically, this deck of cards is not undead. It's an intelligent magic item.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
So you're not going to kill our guide.
Well, no, the Church of Pharasma has a strong anti-undead policy, but they're not so boneheaded, pun intended, that they don't acknowledge that there's different kinds of undead for different reason, and ghosts that are unable to move on are pitied, not purge the heretic. It's how do I help you go to rest, because the longer you haunt, then judgment will be held poorly upon you by the Queen of the Boneyard.
Now, if there's a zombie, that thing can fuck right up.
Yeah, vampires and liches get fucked, but
sounds like a good time.
Clara explains that she can sense the world around the deck via sight and sound, and she can communicate with anyone who holds the deck via empathy. She can use the spell Major Image to project herself, such as she's doing right now, once a day. And obviously this deck is used to give you guys your hero readings.
Who's got the deck?
Right now you do.
You.
Okay.
So your spirit is unable to find peace. This bodes ill. The longer you remain in this state, it blackens the soul and is weighed against you in the final judgment of Pharasma.
She looks at you kind of creeped.
It's not like a condemnation thing. It's just like, this is a bad state. Sorry about that.
But she continues and she says, I don't know if this is the state I will occupy permanently, or if it is simply that my soul cannot find rest. I can't help but shake the feelings that things are not right in this city, especially with what I've seen following Vic here.
I'm kind of surprised your soul hasn't passed on after getting vengeance.
I am as well. I thought for sure this would be what lets me pass on. But seeing as you've succeeded in killing Lamb and I am still here, there's more at play.
It would seem the death of Gadrin has given fewer people peace than I would have hoped.
Perhaps was your son involved with anything? Maybe it went farther than Gadrin himself?
I doubt Aaron would have been involved in anything too cloak and dagger.
How old was Aaron?
Aaron was 18 years old.
Still, Gadrin was in connection in some way, shape, or form with a serial killer. I doubt it ended with him, and it certainly doesn't end my path does not end with him either. So,
Do you know anything of his right-hand man?
God, what was his name again? I'm going to write it down in my notes so I don't keep forgetting.
It should be up in the chat. Yargen Balko.
Mhm.
Yeah, just scroll up a little bit and it's there.
I gotcha.
Yargen's not too much of a threat. I can't imagine he's involved in anything much more serious than what he was with Gadrin. He's not that clever. He can hardly use his own magical items.
Well, I guess one of the reasons we're looking into him was to figure out what you are about, but hey, just come in here, answer that, so at least that's one thing off the mystery list. You see him reach into his pocket and do a check mark or do a cross out on a journal he picked up.
I was waiting for a moment to project myself when you were all gathered and alone. This is the first opportunity I've had.
What is your name? You never gave it to us.
My name is Zalara Esmeralda.
Put that in your notebook, Loki.
I'm gonna...
Yeah, I know. I'm just having fun.
Also, it's fun to go from playing my dwarf character who's trying to plan for the future and stuff to this guy who's like, I'm looking for my daughter and I know how to punch things and I need help.
And you're the leader of the party.
What, in this one?
Yeah, this one.
It's weird that Luca's the leader.
You're the most driven.
It's mostly because he's kind of tied them together through guilt of losing his daughter.
All right, so you guys should be able to...
It's just because you pulled me out of that pit. I don't feel guilty.
Book one characters. Zalara is in there. You can see her token, but other than that, she doesn't have much more information to give you.
Maybe that's why Zalara's still with us. I thought that Gadrin's death would settle my soul as well and take away the anger that I had, but now I find myself almost at a loss. I was just returning the items we had gotten until you, Luca, came up. Maybe that's why Zalara's still around. She's lingering for something that's yet to be completed, and my only thought is finding your daughter.
Yeah, obviously, this is the most pressing issue right now.
We need to find out more about this killer and perhaps what happened to his victims and where they were located. I have some connections in the Guard I'm going to try to find out about, but if any of you have better connections or other connections that we might be able to find, even if some of you know how to talk to the people in the streets and find out rumors.
Well, if you can bear with me for 2 minutes and just watch over me by the door for a moment, I can have a spell that helps.
I just go stand in the dorm frame. Just cross my arms and stare at you.
It was believed that the Keylach killer was a necromancer of some sort. Prone to dismembering the limbs of his victims.
That bodes ill.
Indeed.
So this is basically a diplomacy check to gather information, but which would be the equivalent of 1d4 hours, but it only takes 2 minutes, and I actually at this level get 2 diplomacy checks.
Yeah, you basically just get to make a diplomacy, and it's like if you actually just went on the streets and asked people, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's just doesn't actually talk to anyone.
Yeah, it just takes 1 minute per level, and I get 1 check per level to gather information. So
yeah, most commonly known facts or rumors is a 10 DC. For obscure or secret knowledge, the DC might increase to 20 or higher, and the GM might rule that some topics are simply unknown to common folk. I was just looking at what the gather information stuff does.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pull up some things you might be able to gather really quick.
Yeah, those are actually a 21 and a 23 because I had Silver Tongue clicked from earlier. And I don't see a gameplay way that I'd be able to use that and the spell. Well, maybe it could. We can talk about it after game because it's just whenever you make a roll.
So,
looking for knowledge on the killer.
With all of your checks and stuff, you'll probably be able to figure out some more specific information regarding victims. I can give you some of that stuff after the session. The Keylock killer killed about 15 victims. Most of them were targeting the upper classes. So things like students at the academy or nobles, or even things like Sable Company Marines were the types of people he was targeting. So he was going after pretty big fish. There have been several investigations into finding out who the Keylock killer is, so none of them were able to come up with an actual suspect because no one who ever saw him ever survived to tell the tale.
It's interesting. So, high-level individuals. Perhaps those who opposed his other nefarious dealings.
Perhaps if we can find out more information of the victims, we might be able to stitch together a pattern other than the wealthy elite.
But there is not that much more that would be exactly common knowledge. So what are you guys going to do now?
I guess it would really depend on how much time we would have left of the day, I imagine. Because we've been going out and doing stuff quite a bit. It's probably getting late.
Yeah, it's probably...
Is anyone... Sorry, I'm thinking directly about your daughter. Has anyone thought about questioning any of the other orphans?
We all just point to Barrowwalk.
I've begun looking around, but I was not unable to locate anyone in the brief time before this meeting.
Out of curiosity, are sketch artists a thing in this world space?
I mean, I imagine people know how to draw pictures.
Yeah.
But like a professional one, Mark would say, perhaps if we could take it to a sketch artist to describe your daughter so we all know who to look out for and possibly even show pictures around to see if we could get leads that way.
I did actually have something for this. He would probably open whatever bag he's carrying and pull out a picture that looks like it was torn from another larger picture, most likely of him and his family when they basically had a drawing done of themselves. And be like, she looks like this.
Okay.
Pass it around. You might be prudent if we're all investigating to find somebody to make copies and maybe get more details added to such.
Did you provide her name yet? I think I missed it.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it, but let me go back. Sophia.
Sophia, okay.
I know. Sorry, my mic died. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I hear you.
I know my bank employs artists for evaluations. They're not the most skilled, but a simple re-rendering of a drawing shouldn't be too hard for them. Maybe I can take it and ask them to make some duplicates.
I suppose. And he would pass it to you, but he would do that thing where like you go to grab it and he's like holding on to it a little too tightly before he catches himself and lets go.
Does it have some value I'm unaware of?
Simply a part of a family portrait that doesn't really matter at the moment. Yeah, unless anyone else has any ideas, it'd probably be one of those things that's getting late. We'd probably disperse.
I will just say one last thing. If we are going to be working together, do we wish to establish what some of us will be saying? Because some of your names I know. Some of the other I only make guesses.
We fought together. I think we've committed crimes together. Unwillingly abducted kids as a group. you would kind of shift the gaze over to Barrow for a sec.
I did the abduction. You were merely present for the interrogation.
Still makes it us accomplice. So I think formal introductions may not be completely out of hand.
Full introductions to each other is probably prudent at this point if we do plan to work together. I should probably start since it is my daughter we are looking for. My name is Luca Vaccaro. I was formerly a minor guard near the poor quarters of the town. I am now a Hell Knight in training, and I am looking for my lost daughter. And that is about as much as I can tell you. I have family otherwise, but none of them are really involved in the search right at the moment.
I'll go next. I'm Mark Elro here, unofficial member of the Sable Company. I mainly tend to the stables and the hippogriffs within. Gideon killed my father. My mother died in childbirth, and now that I got my vengeance there, I'm more than happy to help those that helped me.
Vic will take a step forward. Vixen Hammerhead. Vixen Hammerhand. I am a
Hammerhead's your middle name.
That's my alter ego.
I'm Vixen Hammerhead Hammerhand.
Deadly above and below the water.
Look, they don't have cameras where I'm from.
Fisherman. Tax master of the Bank of Aladar. My father was killed by Gadrin in a way. I have been driven off of a passion to return the favor, and now that has succeeded, I'm at a bit of a loss right now. So I'm happy that I'm able to help Luca.
All eyes turn to the short one.
Well, you pretty much know my story at this point. My name's Kier Mizunap. Used to run the store Chemist Mazan. The rest, you know. I lost everything.
Looked familiar.
Yes. I don't even know if I owe your place any money. But since you've taken care of Gadrin himself, I guess we'll need to clean up more of his effects on the city. Looking over at Luca, and beyond that, who knows? Definitely don't know with all this going on. Sort of gestures out the door as though there were an angry crowd standing out there chanting whatever angry crowds chant.
It's just a drunk guy wandering the streets talking about the stuff that they put in the water right now.
They're putting potions in the water to turn the house dragons gay.
I didn't vote
The
for
lizard
a
folk
king.
gay.
There's fucking Bogarts in the sewers, and a masked monk is teaching them kung fu.
I'm not sad. He wasn't my king. I never voted for a king. I didn't vote for this queen.
Oh, frog people who know kung fu, because it's actually a thing that happened.
Yes, indeed, that does exist in this world.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we've all introduced ourselves here. What do our intrepid heroes do now?
All I'll say is
Looks
that
like dead.
they can just call me Gray, because I never introduced myself.
Mhm.
Oh, well. Gray it is.
I worked with Gaijin briefly. It did not end well. Now we've resolved that situation, and I feel as if I have a responsibility to Luca for the time being. When that responsibility resolves, I will likely depart.
How shall we reconvene?
I mean, I feel like this place is as good as any.
Yeah. We could meet here again after we resolve whatever issues we need to do during the morning, and meet here late afternoon to plan on what we can do further. I imagine we still have to keep up some appearances for daily life, or at least most of you do.
Is Zalara still out, or did she return to the deck?
She would be out for you guys introducing yourselves, so she wouldn't make much of an introduction herself because she kind of already has.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Zalara,
started it.
what made you choose this location?
This is my old family home. It's the only other place I could manifest my image.
After your passing, who would be the current owner of this property?
I have no other family in the city. Presumably, it'd be held in escrow by the bank for a few years and then taken into city property.
Been resold. The timeline on that can be quite long. I assure you, gentlemen, that nobody will be coming around here anytime soon.
Well, I assume we all part our ways for that night. As much as I would like to go to Old Carvosa and go child hunting, I'm still several hit points down, so I'll go
Yeah.
take a nap.
I will say for flavor wise and stuff, as we're leaving, I would look over at Merrick and Kier, since you guys seem to be kind of hanging out together most of the time.
Mm.
Probably Vic to an extent, because I assume Barrow would already be gone. I feel like we're going to be in this together for a while, and I had a tradition of when I would greet new coworkers in the guard. If you're all hungry, I can treat you all to a meal if you wish. Have a bit of camaraderie amidst the disaster of whatever the city has become.
Sounds good to me. It seems like we're going to be working pretty closely together. So,
So yeah, I would take them to the inn near my house known as the Posh and Turtle.
Indeed.
And I would order them basically a meal of what his favorite treat is basically deep fried balls of what basically amount to giant mutated lobster monsters.
Oh yeah, reef claws.
Reef claw
right?
pasties.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When you said deep fried balls, are these the testicles of some animal?
No, these are like-
Also,
Crab
I just
cakes.
want to clarify because I think my ears might have malfunctioned. You said reef claw pastries, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They call them
For
pasties.
some reason, I heard meat
Yes,
claw
I heard it as well.
pasties.
No, they actually do in the book call them pasties.
Oh my god!
Do entirely different things.
Yeah. But this is what it looks like. It's basically an eel crossed with a lobster or like crawdad.
Yep.
Yeah, they're common in the waters around Corvosa.
God
Yeah.
damn.
How
But it's
big
like-
is that thing?
It's big. But the meal itself is 4 deep fried balls of meat with a dipping sauce, and he would basically buy a round for everyone who joins, and probably some cheap booze.
Yeah, Vic would gobble it up. He has pretty good table manners. Okay.
The way to describe these kind of remind me of if anyone's ever heard of, I think it's takoyaki.
Yeah.
Basically just a bunch of sauce on top of like deep fried batter and fish.
Yeah. It is a delicious meal for you all to share.
Before Barrow Walker goes to bed, once he gets back to the gray, he's going to switch back into civilian garb, and then he's just going to like slip into the cathedral and do that thing where you sit in the farthest back pew, like close to the door.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going to pray a little bit to Pharasma for guidance about the Fangs dream he had. Doubt anything would be like that, but it's what he would do.
All right.
While we're eating, Vic's going to take the opportunity now that the guard is down to ask Kier and Merrick and Luca about their professions.
Trying to get reestablished as an alchemist. Most of what I do during the day is really assistant work or helping a few people that I can.
And where are you living?
He's staying with me for the time being.
And do you all stay in the tower?
Yeah. Yeah, I typically stick to the stables portion. A lot less people try and get you up super early and following regimented orders and stuff like that.
And Merrick, do you have hope to join the guard?
It would be an honor to do so, for sure. I'm hoping so. That's my intent. Follow my family's footsteps, right?
And Luca?
He did introduce when they were doing exchange of names. He just said that he was a former guard, and he would restate it. Currently, I do odd jobs to make ends meet while I'm looking for my daughter, but I'm also in training to a Hell Knight order that's not native to the area, because I'm pretty sure it's the Order of the Nail that's usually resides in the Corvosa area, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're the fun one.
Yeah.
If you succeed at your aspirations to join the Hell Knight clan, would you then return to be a guard, or do you become employed by the Hell Knights?
I imagine it's the latter. I left the guard as they seemed unwilling to help, and it seems to be that, from what I could gather, many of them were taking bribes. Some of them I had suspicions they were taking bribes from Gadrin himself, though I could not prove anything. They did not want to help in any tangible manner. I tried everyone when she first vanished. I tried the guard. I tried and I would motion to Merrick, and I tried God, what are their names? The
Sable Company.
Sable Company. And I did try the Order of the Nail, and all of them just ignored me or kicked me to the curb. The only ones that took me seriously for my search were those I met from the Order of the Torrent. They seemed to have a penchant for looking for stolen away folk. So in exchange of joining their order, which is rather small, and they're looking to expand, they will help me with what they can in search of my child. The tasks they ask of you are rather heavy, but it is nothing I can't handle, and if they can help, and their goals do align with my own.
Very interesting. I had a similar experience with the Corvosian Guard when I went to them about my father. They seemed to just dismiss me. I had the thought that there may be some tampering there as well, but
there are some good folk in the Guard, but it is overshadowed by those that seem to either ignore or outright dismiss claims.
I think one fellow openly told me he had bigger fish to fry.
That is what I heard as well. Yeah.
Takes bite of hush puppy.
Yeah, it's basically a fishy hush puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Crab cake.
Crab cake.
As you guys are enjoying this this meal, there's been a guy sort of sitting at the end of the bar, and Luca, you notice that when you start talking about the Corvosian Guard, you actually notice he's kind of wearing a Corvosian Guard uniform, but it's covered in dirt and it's gross. And you all kind of notice when he came in, this guy kind of stunk too of sweat and ale. And then he kind of looks up at you at the first time and he goes, "Neffy?"
Like to me?
He goes to you.
I look over at him, and do I recognize him?
You don't really know who he is. Maybe you've seen him a couple times, but you couldn't put a name to him. And he gets up and he goes, "Oh my God, it is you, Neffy!" And he gives you a big pat on the back.
Mark, lean over to Kier. Does he say Neffy?
I think so, yes.
I think you may have
seen you
confused.
since the Sandpoint days. Oh, a lot has changed. And he gets kind of more dour demeanor. A lot has changed.
I do not believe I recognize you. I don't believe I've been to Sandpoint.
Oh, you gonna be like everyone else, Neffy? Gonna act like you don't know me just because I'm in a bit of a scrape up right now? He's starting to get a little angry.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I study him and do a sense motive?
Yeah, you can give a sense motive. What are you trying to accomplish with the sense motive?
What he's trying to accomplish with this greeting.
He thinks he's his friend. He thinks he's Neffy, apparently.
So he's
He
being
also
honest in
seems
that.
very inebriated, and as I said before, he smells of alcohol.
Does the guard uniform look like it belongs to him, or might he have just taken it off of somebody?
It's hard to tell.
But yeah, since with my I just look and listen, friend. You clearly have had one too many tonight, and you think I am someone I am not. I suggest you go home and rest. This is not a good look for the guard.
You can give me a diplomacy check if you want.
Haha, 6.
He goes, "You know what? Now that I start to think about it, Neffy, everything started going downhill the second I met you. The second we met. So you know what? You know what? Right now, Neffy," and he pulls out his sword in the middle of the bar and he says, "Come outside. We're gonna duel this out, Neffy."
So I'm gonna roll an intimidate. Let me roll that first before I say what I say, just because if it's funny, I'm gonna just flub over it.
Natural 1.
Can I slip in a guidance? I guess it's probably at this point, but
More.
As he pulls out his sword, I just kind of lock eyes with him, and I slam whatever I was holding onto the table to cause all like the dishes to clatter. And I stand up, and I'm an imposing figure. I'm like not the tallest individual, just shy of 6 foot, but I am wide. And I just look at him dead in the eyes. "Boy, you are too far into your cups, and you are pulling out a weapon in the company of strangers and civilians, I suggest you stow your blade and go home and drink some water.
What does Intimidate go off of?
10 plus hit die plus wisdom modifier.
Okay, 10.
Which I'd be surprised if it's higher than 24. I'd be terrified.
Yeah. So I think Intimidate
influences the actions. If successful, we'll give you information. You take actions that do not endanger it, offer limited assistance, etc. So I'm basically just trying to get them to de-escalate the blade pulling out thing.
And he goes, "Fine, you don't want to be a man and settle it with a sword. We can do fisticuffs, Neffy." And he sheaths his sword.
Can I look around and see if anyone recognizes this guy in the bar that's kind of looking at him like that kind of look where like, oh god, not him again kind of situation?
You guys are kind of the only ones in the bar besides the bartender. There are riots going on right now.
Yeah.
Bartender probably only let you in because he recognizes you.
Yeah. Probably also, with riots, it probably helps to have someone, even if they're a former guard.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why this guy's in here, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if let me just look at the name. Because the owner's name I think is Fabian. And I look over at him. I'm sorry about this. He doesn't seem to want to listen to reason. I will take it outside of your bar. I apologize for the inconvenience. And I look over at the
driving off business.
I look at the guy. Now, stow your blade. You're looking like a fool. And I will walk out if he's really adamant to try to fight me, because he doesn't want to let people disturb the peace at this point. So,
all right.
And even if he doesn't fight him, he just wants him outside of this bar.
Mark will follow.
This is a civil place, goddammit. Only a former drug den turned bar. Who cares?
This won't take long, but who all is going to go watch this fight?
Mark will be out there.
Yeah, might as well.
Vic?
Finish the food.
Vic's going to stay at the table.
All right. Let me get everyone. Do these tokens have sight? I don't think they do. No, they don't. Sorry, I got to turn your guys' eyes on.
Enabling eyes. The new I brought to you from Apple.
Yes.
Like I hear the screech of
With just a simple monthly subscription, you too can see.
Oh god. Don't give people ideas. There will be someone who's like, what if we can monetize vision?
That is one fact missing from the horrible cyberpunk dystopias of yesteryear. Subscription fees.
Well, no one thought people were going to be that blatant with it. Or to find out reality works.
All right.
I like that update to any cyberpunk realm. All of a sudden their machine shuts down. Damn it, did you renew the subscription?
That was the thing in the modern the cyberpunk anime I saw, was that the washing machine inside your apartment was subscription based.
You guys can here and there, you can move around to be wherever you want to, but they're just walking outside of the bar and they're gonna have a little bit of a tussle.
Man, they keep taking down that video on how to jailbreak your kidneys.
So that goes back to, I don't remember what the Wild West show was, but it was a frontier show, and they were just converting over to cars, and the men come in and they're on their horses and they stop, and a guy is showing an actual one of the first washing machines on the side of the road, and the rich city women are very interested, and the guy comes up and he goes, how much does this cost? And he says, well, you're going to want to rent it. It's a bit cost prohibitive. And then he goes, oh yeah. And then how do you get it to run on the electricity? So let me get this straight. I'm going to have to pay you every month just to have this machine in my house. And you're going to charge me for the power to drive it. This sounds ridiculous. And you're just going to do this over and over and over again every month for the rest of my life. No, thank you. We can already wash our clothes. So it was like 1,800 subscription based
It brought up
jabs.
with everyone on it. I gotta take it off. All right.
I'll just roll it again and change it back to what I rolled. So
Yeah.
Yeah, while Luca's wailing on this guy, I'm going to get myself a cup of tea. Get back.
That's a good time for bio because I can listen while I go. And
And mute.
muting.
yeah.
And unmute. And mute.
All right. So, Merrick and Kier, do you guys want to roll initiative?
No, Mark isn't going to get involved in the fight. He's just there to make sure nobody takes it too far.
All
and
right.
to administer healing after the fact.
Same with
Similar,
you.
although I get the feeling that may end up changing.
Cool. Just let me know at any time, and I'll let you guys roll an initiative. All right. So he is going to start out pretty simply. He's going to do a punch at you.
God, not the one punch.
The
I
one.
don't think I can handle that.
So I just have to calculate it because he is not an unarmed character, so he will get an attack of opportunity.
I'm not going to take it for this turn. So
Okay.
also, I don't think I've acted yet, so I don't think you get an attack of opportunity unless you acted on turn yet. 14 will miss me.
All right. Then his first hit is a miss.
I will provoke because I'm going to try to grapple him, and I don't have advanced improved grapple or anything.
All right.
So he can attack me again if he wants.
He's going to take the opening, but miss.
Yeah. So grapple attempt will fail.
Horrible failure.
I'm trying to grab him, but he's just flailing at me.
He is going to try to take another hit.
That'll actually hit.
Will hit you for the great damage he's going to do. 4 damage. He socks you in the jaw.
Although I think it's non-lethal if it's
Yeah, it's non-lethal.
yeah, because he's not trained in unarmed combat. I'm going to try to grab him again so he can try to punch me again.
Do you not take the attack of opportunity?
I
It's like
don't think I can take an attack of opportunity to grapple. So right now he's not actually trying to knock him out.
Oh, you're still trying to grapple. Okay.
Yeah. So he's not doing that yet. So. Okay, so he can make another attack because I'm going to try to grapple him again.
All right. Sorry, that's a damage. Oops. 15. So no, doesn't it?
Wow. I'm going to
try to take another.
Oh, he'll hit me that time again.
I'm not even moving the initiative, so I feel like there's no point in really having it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to roll the damage, and then I'll try to grapple him again, and he can make another attack.
All right. 4 more.
Oh, wow. I might not do this much longer,
He's
though.
had to get his ass handed to him. Should we have a beam?
So I'll take one more grapple attempt so he can punch at me first.
I'm about to.
All right. 11 miss.
24 to grapple him.
24. You might just grapple this son of a bitch. I've got to check. CMDs are usually high, but he's drunk and shit. So
I was going to say my CMD is only 17, so I'd hope so.
Oh, come on. It's not scrolling down. Okay, there we go. Yep, you grapple him.
Okay, so I have him grappled now.
Indeed, you do. I believe he can still take attacks against you, though.
It'll just be like, I think, a -4 overall.
Grapple. There we go. All right. It's going to try to take an attack on you.
Nope.
5. So it is your turn again, Luca.
So there's a barrel here. I imagine it's similar to like when you see in like movies they have like that rainwater
Rain
collection barrel.
Mhm.
And I'm basically holding him like, you need to sober up, and I'm gonna dunk his head in the water and pull it back out, and then just keep doing that for the 6 seconds. Just dunk, dunk, dunk.
Okay.
Roll for waterboarding.
I guess I could roll this as like maybe like a demoralized attempt to.
Yeah, another intimidate.
Apparently, he's very drunk. He doesn't even know he's being waterboarded.
Yeah. So the first round of dunking does not deter him that much. He tries to take another hit.
That'll actually hit.
Ribs.
Damn, you're rolling.
Jesus.
Okay, so after he punches me this time, I will be like, okay, so I really didn't want to do this, but you forced my hand, and I will attack him. But I'll do it non-lethally, but I am a monk at this point, so.
Yes. Go ahead and pummel his ass.
Yep. Give me 1 second.
Like every hour or so, it's kicking me from the call. Like
And we'll miss, I imagine.
it just sends me out. I have no clue what's going on. Yeah.
All right, is he dead yet?
No, I've been trying to go lenient on him, but he keeps punching me, so I'm like, okay.
He's hitting hard too. Jesus.
Yeah, though I miss, and he's going to probably try to punch me again, which will provoke, so I will take this one.
Yep. He's going to try to punch you again, so it provokes. Oh, 7. He did not like that.
Are you done, sir?
He is too drunk to even hear you.
That'll miss, even with the grappled on me.
All right, it's your turn again.
12, I think, will miss.
12 does miss, unfortunately.
I'm sorry I'm not there, otherwise I would have just blackjacked him for you.
I was trying to not fight him, but he was insistent and didn't want him to ruin the inside of the bar. And then I will make another attack because he'll probably try to punch me again.
Yep, and try and punch you again, so give me another attack.
For 8 points.
8 points. He doesn't like it. But he will continue his assault. And miss.
I'm pretty sure that'll miss. Let me put a grappled condition real quick. Just to make sure. No, that actually just hit since I'm considered grappled as well.
So 1 damage.
Finally, you roll 1. Then...
You're gone. He rolled as 1d4 total for unarmed damage, but he's rolled 3 4s in a row.
Yeah. So that'll be 23 to hit for 9 more points of damage. This is all non-lethal, so once he passes out, I'm not going to finish the guy off. Is he still up? Because if he punches me again, I'll make that attack.
Yeah, he's still up, so you're going to get another attack.
15.
15 is not going to hit. 21 is for 3 damage.
Did it roll 23? I don't see anything after I made that attack roll.
Yeah, it says my connection is... I'm going to reload.
You said 3 points
on
of
my
damage?
screen, it said, yeah, 3 points of damage.
Okay.
What the hell?
Oh, damn. I got a double crit to hit my
Jesus.
for 19 points of bludgeoning damage.
Pinball sound effect.
At this point, I just get tired of him, and I just open palm slap him in the face.
Kidding me? Sorry, it's saying I can't connect to my network now, and I can't get into Roll20.
Which is weird, because we can hear you, so you're obviously connected to your network.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my phone talking. And that's annoying. Give me just a couple minutes, guys.
No worries. In other news, I I could not, for the life of me, remember if this was going to be the dwarf game or curse this week.
Mhm.
I've been like so out of it this week.
Understandable.
All right. I managed to get back into Roll20.
You see that
Okay.
nice crit I did?
Indeed. Okay.
He got knocked the fuck out.
I'd
I
hope
hope
so.
so. If a random civilian has this much HP, we're concerning here because he has more
this
HP than I do.
And you met in this bar, but he is still up.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
Similar situation to Gager, and you met a very strong man in a very inebriated state.
Well, I'm gonna punch him again because he's probably gonna strike at me. 14 will miss.
14 will miss. 1d20 plus 2. 4 will miss.
You-
Oh,
Punch him again.
you see just the fight go out of him entirely at this point. You've pretty well pummeled him up. And yeah, he just he goes prone at this point. He just kind of slumps down onto the sidewalk.
Luca didn't really want this, so when he starts slumping down, he would actually help him down to not like just fall down. Just probably lean him against the wall. Now listen, I do not know you, but whoever you are, you're better than picking fights with people, strangers on the street or in a bar.
He's completely broken out into tears. You can just hear self-loathing rants coming out drunkenly. God, you couldn't even beat this random guy in a bar. Who are you?
I just get whatever the equivalent to like a water skin I have, just dunk it in this rainwater, and I hand it to him. Drink. You're way too drunk to be out in public.
I wasn't out in public. I was in that bar, and then you picked a fight.
But basically, the rest of my time will consist of trying to get him at least sober enough, and probably just lead. Since I don't know where he lives, just lead him to an alley where he'll be safe-ish, and like let him sleep on something that's not concrete ground, or not concrete, like stone ground or something.
Mm-hmm. He's pretty inconsolable at this point, but you're able to lead him around pretty easily.
Just put him somewhere where he's not going to cause a problem. If he doesn't drink, I just dunk the water on top of his head to go with what I dunked him in. And encourage him to sober up.
Let loose a channel to help the two of them heal up a bit.
Now I'm just going to want to fight again.
Round 2, motherfucker.
There you go. And yeah, while I'm carrying him over, does he have any like, I don't know that we don't have like badges as a guard or anything, but any like noticeable information on him that might prove to who he is or anything, or any name to him, or even listening in if he says anything that I might pick up on.
Other than the fact that he's in a Corvosan Guard uniform, there's not much identifying. Like, there's not a name or anything on the uniforms.
Yeah. Basically, he's crying and inconsolable, and Luca not knowing what to do after he just beat the shit out of this guy. After he puts him down, he's still inconsolable. I tap his shoulder, but a little too hard for like a comfort tap. There, friend. You'll be all right. And then I stand up and I leave.
All right.
I look at the two of them. The night could have gone better, but I should probably get some rest.
Did you want another healing touch just to
No, I'll be
Yeah.
fine. There's just a little couple taps. I'll be fine.
Sure.
Because non-lethal heals pretty fast, so I'll be fine.
All right. Safe journey.
Because with that one channel, because channel heals double non-lethal, so I'm
no, I think, as I understand it, heals both non-lethal and lethal
okay.
equal amounts.
Okay, I thought it healed double non-lethal.
No.
Okay, well, still, I don't have that much non-lethal, so it's fine.
All right.
So, say our goodbyes, I guess.
After that dinner and that fight, it is getting pretty well into evening here. Everyone is going to want to get some rest going forward. So,
Merrick would probably spend a little bit of time at the tower, inquiring to some of his colleagues if they know anything of a missing girl by the name of Sophia. Use diplomacy just to see if I could get some leads.
Yeah, you can go ahead and give me a diplomacy.
Oh shit.
Unfortunately, it does seem to be much the situation that Luca described. You are actually able to find the guards, the Sable Company Marines, that he asked, and they sort of talk about the whole interaction like they don't know that that you know Luca. They go, "Oh, this guy came in. He wanted the Sable Company Marines to do all his personal matters for him.
Mm.
Soon enough, they're going to be asking us to wash their dishes too."
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not necessarily or I guess your scope of work, but I was just curious. So, seeing that that's a dead end, yeah, Mark would just kind of turn in for the evening, take care of whatever odd and end tasks left to be done in the stables.
Yeah, I feel bad wasting the 20, but
no, it's how it plays out sometimes.
Who didn't investigate the situation?
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
An arrow with a critical clue tied to it hits you in the ass.
An arrow with a crudely drawn address. He's here.
Bring 6,000 in unmarked coins to this location.
Unmarked coin.
What denomination? What denomination?
Okay. Does anyone else do anything else tonight?
Just for flavor's sake, because nights usually when Luca does his reckoning for the Hell Knight Order, because what that is, like, it consists of, he gets home, he takes off his armor and everything, and similar to what he saw outside of that bar when he was fighting, he actually does also have a barrel of, like, a rainwater barrel collection thing in his backyard of the house. And he's just in his just a shirt and pants that he wears underneath. No one would see it, but he just takes a second, expels all the air out of his lungs, and submerges his head. And it takes a while because part of the reckoning that you have to do in the Order of Torrent, one of the like almost religious practices you have to do for the Order of Torrent, is submerging your head and simulate drowning on yourself for just about every day. To the point of where he almost feels like he's about to pass out from not having any oxygen in his lungs before he pulls his head back out, wipes himself off in a dingy towel that he probably just leaves out there to gather dust in the elements, and heads back into his dark home to go back to sleep.
Pinky.
It builds character.
I was looking at what they do and stuff. I'm like, damn, that's weird.
I read that too. I was wondering when you were
You
that into
choose this.
I feel like it was a good kind of comparison what he tried to do to the guy to kind of get him in a proper headspace and what he does every night.
Yeah, I like it. All right.
Well, unlike that freaking heathen, I go to a church and pray. That's all.
This isn't a religious thing. Also, he is religious. He actually worships the same god as you, I'm pretty sure. Oh, no. He actually worships the same god as Vic. It's even worse.
It's even.
Why do you guys hate Vic, man?
I love Vic.
No, we hate the bank. We like Vic.
Mhm.
Uh,
We hate the game, not the player.
touche.
All right. So if there isn't anything else going on tonight,
One
then
more
we'll ask
question,
you guys
if you
what you
don't
do in the
mind.
morning.
First, I had my 2 hit
I think
points.
Loki was saying something.
Yeah, just
Oh,
Do I
go ahead.
really- Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
so as the stables are, get late from his hammock, Mark will say, "Hey, Kurt, you up?"
Yeah. What you need?
Curious what you make of this situation we suddenly find ourselves in. I mean, that ghost in the deck of cards that was a weird twist I didn't see coming.
Is definitely interesting.
Hmm.
But works of Destiny say to try to live each day to the fullest, so guess we'll just have to roll with this adventure however far it takes us.
I'm
At least far
excited.
enough to help the one man with his kid.
Yeah, for sure. I can't imagine it's going to be easy with the state the city's currently in. Obviously, we've been struggling to get help in the first place, but now that everything's on fire, and he would kind of lean up to see if he could kind of see any of the city through the one of the windows in the stables, see if riots have broken out into areas of fire or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Every night it's the same story so far. The
Yeah.
Corvos and Guard and the Sable Company are starting to get a little bit of a handle on it, but it seems like the whole city's gone mad.
Who knows how long it'll last?
I'm still not entirely sure what the fuck's going on politically. I mean, it's fucking madness out there.
Yeah. Someone's riling people up. Might be something worth looking into.
How weird would it be if all this was actually tied together somehow? Because it does seem very odd timing that the one night we finish our task, we'll say, everything goes to shit. It's almost like Gideon was the one thing holding everything together.
Could be.
I'd be surprised to have some backwater thug being the linchpin to all this. I don't know. Still, an amusing notion.
My friend Gray seemed quite suspicious still of the providence of our Lady of the Cards.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of weird in general anyways. And we could have, if the Gideon thing is tied to everything else, then that deck of card very much is the thing that toppled that first domino, right?
Yes. What else did we find down there of note? I know found what should be that lady's head.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious about some of the other souvenirs too. Like, there's a ring, and obviously that has a certain resonance with me, but I wonder what that was about. There was a inscription on it, wasn't there?
And we let Vic hold on to it. We always ask him next time we see him.
That's true. I mean, it seems like if rather than just kind of going from house to house, it might behoove us to also take a closer look at some of those personal effects and see if we could find some leads that way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry for keeping you. Just late night wandering mind. You know how it is. But
I just picture them in bunk beds and they're just like
pretty much
in
like
the
it.
bottom bunks, like trying to sleep, but then he
Uh,
wakes up like, Kier, you awake?
yeah.
What?
See,
Yeah,
in-
I'm
in my-
awake.
That's
in
all
my
I
mi-
was picturing.
in my mind's eye, it's not bunk beds. Mark sleeps in the loft, and Kerr sleeps on the ground floor.
So
So
bunk beds.
pretty much just barn version of bunk beds. So
I have a question for you, Loki. Does like 45 minutes after this conversation pass, do you go, "Hey, are you awake?" You ever
There's
think about what happens after we die?
I wouldn't be surprised that there's been some nights like that. I don't know how Kerr feels about it, but yeah, Mark is.
Nothing like discussing your mortality at 4 a.m.
That's the best time. There's nothing better than the sleep deprived state to get really existential. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's right up there with shower thoughts, you know. Although you don't really do shower thoughts with other people so often.
Only if you have an exciting life, I suppose.
Listen, I spent my first freshman year of college in the dorms. Some guys tried.
Oh God, that sounds horrible.
It is horrible. It was the worst thing in the world.
I don't know. Personally, I think sharing thoughts across shower stalls is not as awkward as sharing thoughts across bathroom stalls.
They did that too.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
You're in there. You're taking a piss, and they're trying to have a conversation with you, and you're just trying really hard not to look at the used condom sitting on the seat.
Oh God.
Oh, college.
It's a wild time.
I've never been, so I can't really judge.
I mean, it was in the bathroom, so it was used, but not used, if you know what I mean. Anyway.
So I think I'm good. Yeah.
All right. Then the night will pass. You all wake up, and you have to decide what you do in the morning.
Do we really only heal our level and hit points per day? Because I was trying to look it up. That's what it said.
I think we decided level plus con is how we did it.
Plus con.
Okay, because
I don't think we put it on our house rules because that's how we've always done it.
Yeah.
I think we
Con
saw
or con mod?
con modifier.
Con mod, yeah. So I was slowly crawling my way back up to 17 hit points, 2 hit points at a time.
No, that's how we've always ruled it since we started playing and back into the Sunday game.
Gotcha.
Just because it seems too slow otherwise, and yeah, I get why, but it's also mechanically boring and doesn't really serve too much of a purpose.
Yeah, I think sometimes slow healing in some systems can be fun if there's like an accompaniment to go with it, like Dark Heresy. You know, you break an arm, so you have to be in a cast for like a month.
Yeah, but even level plus con mod, early level it helps a lot, but once you get in higher levels, that con mod's not really doing as much as your HP.
Well, also like by higher, like one book from now, we're gonna be having healing wands coming out of our ass, and it's not. That's why I keep forgetting how much we heal, because we just healing wand everything.
Yeah, it's fucking Vic's just gonna open up his trench coat. Like, let's see, not this one, not this one. No, I like this one. This is my favorite. This is only for me. Okay, here you go. You get the shitty one. Bam.
You guys are sitting on so much money and assets. You could buy healing wands now.
No, I know.
Just it's all locked in Vic's locker.
Well,
I'm trying not to play my character as money hungry because that's not what he is. So,
new day. I guess I'll go to Old Corvosa and try a little more in earnest to track down that orphan.
Yeah, I would wake up super early in the morning to the point where I can go to the dispatch that I was usually dispatched from to see if I can catch anyone I know getting ready for work, so I can ask them some questions. So, since they're probably going to be out handling the riots otherwise. So.
All right.
Vic's going to step out and actually use the spell today to center on what he learned about Luca's daughter, to see if he can gain any information on her.
All right. I'm going to take a quick bio, and then we can get into the searching.
I'll be right back, and then I'm going to get some water.
Sorry to keep dragging things out but I feel like at these early levels, we just got to get the more role play interactions, because we know each other's characters, but each other's characters don't know each other. You know?
Well, that's why I brought up the whole like, hey, maybe we should actually have names now thing before we
exactly.
And I think I'm going to probably adapt that whole bunk bed talk thing on a regular basis, regardless of where he's at.
God.
If we're traveling together, be prepared.
Yes, Merrick and Kerr. Bedtime thoughts.
So at what point are we going to have like an NPC that's going to be like, so are you guys like like a
Bert
thing?
and
Or
Ernie? Bert and Ernie, we're just best friends.
are you just really good roommates?
I was there for him when he needed somebody in his life the most. You know, basically give the whole like rom-com sort of, or more of a Hallmark moment sort of backstory. It's like
Always falling on hard times, and every time he fell, Merrick was there to lift him up. And but what Kier really was searching for was the one.
Oh man, I'm gonna kick the shit out of this street urchin when I find him now.
Although I did mean to ask in character, did you ever put the copper on the severed head?
I'm back.
I believe I did.
I came back to severed head.
I believe I did.
Welcome.
Hold on, let me check my. Yes, yeah, because that. Otherwise, I would be down to 194 copper because there was only 3 dead bodies, rather than. No. I could have sworn I did. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. No, I didn't because I didn't kill her. I did give 2 coppers to the kid though, reminding him I could pay for his burial after I killed him.
I mean, I feel like at this point, is it could or will?
We'll see. Depends how helpful he is.
That was definitely my favorite scene so far of this campaign.
The dumping of the. Oh yeah, the coins.
The coins. I gave him 2 silver and was like, just keep quiet about this. You gave him 2 copper and was like, I can kill you. And this is all the ferryman needs. And then Richard's character was like, here's 2 gold. Go live it up. It's like all the different uncles and their terrible Christmas presents.
And then later on, I gave a knife to children, saying that if they need to get revenge because they were wronged, I will turn the side eye.
That's right. I complimented Vic complimented Barrow on not killing the kid when he knocked him out and coming back to consciousness. And Luke was like, "How dare you speak that way? Here, kids, go Lord of the Flies on that motherfucker."
Yeah, I do still think that's funny, where it's all like, how dare you hit a child? I will just leave the door open for them to commit murder.
Listen,
Like,
they were
Lucas
wronged, and they
got
can't get help from the people who are in charge to get righted for these wrongs. So he was giving them the option that if they needed to, they could take it on their own hands.
Yep, nothing like blackening their souls and sending them straight to hell.
Take justice into your own hands.
Listen, there's lots of hells and there's lots of heavens in this.
I know.
Chances are they're equally likely for all of them.
Welcome to murder heaven.
Some of us are living in our hells.
All right, so
welcome to murder heaven. Did you cut a bitch and feel bad about it? Then you're home.
Moving along.
Yep.
so you're trying to gather information, Vic, on Lucas' daughter?
Yes. I get 2 diplomacy rolls. Wheat sauce. And it's not that I'm asking people, it's that I'm kind of seeing the scenes around the city that focus around her of what happened.
But you get information as if you were talking to people, though.
Yeah, mechanically, I get that.
Yeah.
It's like watching a Disney musical number.
Right.
Or the city, everyone's singing about all the things that's going on, even though they're not talking to anyone in particular.
Cool. Where are you going?
I think this just cast a spell and it happens in 2 minutes as you're focusing. That's why I was...
Well, probably different parts of the city
Yeah.
have different rumors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the way I see it work, or the way it reads, it's definitely like you're visualizing, which is why they say you can use perception instead of diplomacy.
Yeah.
You're watching
Which is
it
why
all
I'm
unfold.
asking what part city you're in.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a part of the city she's never been, you're probably not going to get much. If you're in a part of the city like, say, the old docks you guys went and killed Gadrin in, you might see something.
That's important. Where did you say you were from?
If you see on the map, you can see the general area. It's also near the.
Up here.
Yeah, it's also near the that tavern I took you to. It's all in the same area.
So he'd head up there because he wants some more of those fish balls.
Fishy balls.
Cool. Going up there, how far back does this go, or is it just however?
I'll read. You see and hear a stream of past scenes and pieces of conversations related to local people and events. The flashes are so brief, it's impossible to identify individual people or places, but when the target concentrates on a particular topic or individual, she can piece together a coherent narrative told in a multitude of changing voices in her mind. That's it.
God, this
as
is a
far
vague
as like, it's super vague. It says range is one creature. It's divination. I don't know. I guess that's kind of up to you what you want to show with that low of a roll. I mean, I rolled a 9 on the highest one.
Yeah, you would see probably some visions of blurry street urchins pointing at a man who you presume to be Luca and talking about how he let his daughter get kidnapped. But other than that,
ooh,
Look at
Kids are always the worst.
I don't
man.
need a tartar
Kids are
sauce to put the
bullying
flames out
Luca.
on these fish balls, man.
He just shows up and he's covered in poop and all of his money is gone. He's like, I don't want to talk about it.
And that's how you start an inquisition.
So it begins. Yep, that's good for me.
all right. Barrow, I believe you were looking for information as well.
I'm heading to Old Corvosa, looking for information and trying to track down, well, in particular the one I nabbed before, but I guess any of Cadron's orphans. But for comedy's sake, the one that I got before would be the funniest.
All right. So, yeah, give me just a diplomacy roll if you haven't already.
All right. Show me the goods. Hey, 19. That's not bad. And I am doing this in Old Corvosa explicitly.
All right. In Old Corvosa, with the information you know, it might cost you some gold pieces and bribes, maybe. It'd be pretty easy to track down one of the orphans.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to track down a specific one, you might have to maybe bribe one of those orphans to give you where he is.
I'm fine with any. I was speaking out of character. It would just be funny to be this specific.
Yeah, you're able to find the location of at least one of the orphans.
Cool. Did we have a meeting time set up, guys?
We did say we were gonna meet up at like afternoons, like in like the mid-afternoon or something, I think. So because we said, like, at least I said that we probably all have some daytime stuff we have to take care of. Like some of us actually all have jobs that they probably have to accomplish. So
should I interrogate this kid myself, or should I just repeat the process?
Yes.
You have to drag him a lot further now.
Yeah, I better just intimidate him myself.
All right.
All right. I'm going to pull a Richard, and I'm going to roll the intimidate and see how good the roll is. Before,
it's just easier than saying a really bunch of stuff and then rolling one.
On 13. I guess
13.
the easiest explanation just corner him and start asking questions. I'm not going to be a big detailed description of me being scary.
Approaching in an intimidating fashion is probably going to scare the child. So they pull out a probably like a little dagger or something pathetic. They're like, what do you want to know all this for?
I'm looking for someone that's missing. One of your old friends is in a bit of trouble. It would not be intelligent to be uncooperative at the moment.
Who are you looking for?
I describe a 10-year-old blonde-haired girl was taken from Gadrin by someone who wasn't one of the usual people.
Answers to the name Sophia if you knew the name as well.
Yeah, I was out of character spacing on it, so I'd use that too.
Yeah.
He goes,
I figured.
You mean the girl that got saved?
Elaborate.
Oh shit, it's a cult.
Always a cult.
Gadrin, yeah, and he would lower kids into his gobblegut pit. And go ahead.
I said I was just gonna say I'm familiar when he said gobblegut.
But are you talking about Sophia?
Yes.
Then you must be talking about it. The guy who stabbed Gadrin.
Was he?
He came in. He didn't seem to have much of a purpose. He was able to get around and get into Gadrin's room without anyone noticing. And apparently, some of the kids were talking. He rescued one of us and stabbed Gadrin in the leg.
Can you describe him to me?
I never saw him myself. Like I said, he never came into the top floor of the fishery. We're not allowed down below. We weren't allowed down below.
Do you know if anyone did see him?
I don't know. Maybe Giggles, because he seeks over the pit that lowers down into Gadrin's room, but...
And he's dead.
Yeah.
See. Do you have any information that could help me find this man?
As far as helping you find where he is now, I've got no clue.
And just to do my due diligence, I have no reason to believe that he is lying, but yeah, he's on the level.
All right. So, we've got Vic, we've done Barrow. Anyone else doing anything before you guys meet up?
I said I was going to the guardhouse early in the morning to see if I can find anyone who might know of the killings that took place with the serial killer guy we're looking for. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
You're informed that the only one who would have access to that kind of information in the guard post now is probably the field marshal. And she's probably got more on her plate than dealing with you right now.
Typical. But yeah, then if no one had anything to helpful for doing there, he would just until time to meet up, he would actually probably just go back to his hometown area part, and since there's probably been riding all over the what was that?
When you go to to the Citadel, just by the way, it is a complete shell of its former self. Things are really not going well in the city if so few guards are there.
Yeah. But yeah, he would seeing all this happening, he would go back to the street that he lives on and basically help the people who live there. If anything's been damaged in the rioting or anyone needs help with anything, he'd probably just do that until the time to go meet up people.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff for you to do, so you keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
I think in the morning, Mark would try and take a different tack and probably see if his compatriots are aware of is it the Lock-Key Killer?
Lock-Key Killer.
Key lock killer.
Key Lock Killer. Yeah, ask if they've heard any rumors about that.
I think you did this just before, but
Well, I was asking about the daughter, but I wasn't sure if.
Okay. As far as the Key Lock Killer, you can do a diplomacy, and I can tell you what you find out. You hear much the same story that the others have been able to tell you. Killed 15 victims, has been gone for quite a few years now. Suspected that he probably either left Korvosa or died. Some people suspect he's a necromancer, though there's not a lot of hard proof, at least that the public has of that.
Is there anything that might have suggested necromancy? Components or something like that left at crime scenes?
He didn't usually leave bodies. That's kind of strange. People start to talk.
Okay. And yeah, nothing else until we all plan on meeting up.
Gear? Thought I heard you start to say something.
No, I don't have a whole lot.
All right. And where are you guys meeting up?
The old abandoned house.
All right. Easy enough for you guys to make your way there. I'm actually going to have... Who's all traveling together?
Mark and Kier.
Yeah, I think just the two of them.
Mark and Kier. Okay, Mark and Kier. Both of you give me a 1d6. Okay. Both of you give me perception checks. As you guys are traveling through the city, you, Kier in particular, you managed to hear the sounds of extortion going on. It's you can't quite tell. There's a couple buildings between you and where the noise is coming from, but it's clear you hear some rough fellas trying to extort some money out of a shopkeep.
There's some trouble going on over there. We should get involved.
That's our trouble. Would Merrick be able to hear it?
Yeah, now that he's pointed it out, you can hear. Look, it's just in a time of such trouble in Korvosa. It'd be a shame if anything happened to this beautiful shop. Stuff like that.
I think we could get involved. See if we can just go in as shoppers and see if they're still willing to act that way with witnesses, and then see where it goes from there.
Well, you're the more official of this.
The unofficial official.
So yeah, Mark will kind of go into the shop. What type of shop is it?
You are stopped as you head down the road toward the stop. One of the thugs who's up at the front door talking to the shop owner, who appears to actually be a halfling, dressed in some pretty eccentric sailor's clothing, and the sign above the shop says Marigold's Oddities. But he stops and steps in front of you and says, "Shop's closed."
I think I'll just say move and use command and basically send him booking.
All right, use command.
That would be a will save.
All right. Will save. The sheets are not wanting to move when I tell them to.
Shit.
Here we go.
Yep, that's a success.
And he goes, "No, I don't think I will."
He's small, right?
No,
I think-
the thugs are humans. The shopkeep is a halfling.
Oh, I gotcha. I think Mark will still just try to bully his way through.
All right. I will bring you guys over to the map. Mark and Kier. And then I will move you guys over. I still have added vision to your tokens. So let me do that right now. And we'll say you guys are like here. Guy has approached you. Do you guys see yourself?
What was that?
Do you guys see yourselves on the map?
Yeah.
Took a second to find this, but yes.
I'm sorry?
Said took a second to find this, but yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so tell me how you want to get past this guy.
I think Mark will keep a hand out his weighted spear without drawing it and just kind of go to step around and just, try to, go around him. If he tries to get in the way, just try shoulder past.
All right. You're going to go ahead and bring up the turn order because he's not going to let you interrupt their little operation going on. And I will also roll for. There we go. Initiative. There we go. All right. Descending.
Does he already have a weapon drawn or no?
He didn't have a weapon drawn before. He's going to be drawing his weapon now, which is why we're rolling initiative.
Okay.
Can you guys hear that coming out of my mic? I don't want to.
I don't hear anything but your voice coming from your mic.
Okay, cool. All right, so you do have the first initiative, though, Merrick.
All right, I think Mark will just move on up. Excuse me, man. I'm here to do some shopping and kind of almost act like he doesn't acknowledge this guy here, but keeping his hand on the spear. He will ready an attack if the guy goes to draw his weapon.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So this guy looks like he's ready to draw a weapon. I'm gonna step back, ready a bomb.
He's also seems like he's not paying very much attention to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if he draws a weapon, I'm ready in action to throw one of my sticky bombs at him.
All right. The guy in the back is going to draw a weapon. So, Kier, you'll get your prepared attack. I believe, Merrick, if you have range, you'll get yours.
No, mine does average.
Below.
Touch. Might do touch. Let me see.
You could always tap a hard
Quite.
point, can't you?
Yeah, true. Does not quite hit the. You could tap a hero point.
Since it's a dexterity attack. So it's just tapping.
Is it a reroll or a plus? I forget. It's a reroll on the dex.
Haro, let's see.
I think it's a reroll.
Yeah, looks like reroll.
Yeah, that's a 4. Let's go ahead and reroll that. Ooh, 17. Probably hit.
That will hit. So now he's glued in place, I believe, correct?
He's got to make a reflex save to be not glued in place. Only DC 14, but
Nah.
he's still entangled.
Gotcha. What is entangled? Is that like half movement?
It's in the notes at the bottom of it. -2 to attack, -4 dex. I believe half speed might be separate from entangled.
Okay.
Yeah, can only move at half speed even if successful, but that's separate from entangled.
Cool. This one is still going to make his way, tripping over Kier's bomb.
That'll provoke attack of opportunity from me, right?
Yeah, I could have put him closer, but we'll say he just tripped in there, and you'll get an attack of opportunity.
All right. Using the blunt side. Oh, that's a miss.
All right.
Wait, yeah. And do I get my ready to attack against this one if he draws his weapon still, or does that?
He hasn't drawn his weapon yet. I'm still going.
Okay.
Does he still get a movement in a standard gear?
Yeah, it's not like staggered or anything.
Cool. Then he is going to attack with his sap.
Let me check. That'll miss.
Yeah, that doesn't hit. Your AC is 19, right?
Yeah, no, that'll miss. And is that with the debuffs applied as well?
That's not with the debuffs, so it's even worse.
So yeah, that'll miss even more.
Yeah. Marigold is going to go. Or, sorry, the other one needs to go. He's actually going to try and grapple her, saying that the situation has become a little bit more complicated.
Would you argue that that's something that would trigger my ready to attack? Is not drawing a weapon, but is aggression.
I'll say this time. I'm not going to make that a blanket.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Doesn't matter anyways. I can't seem to hit worse shit.
14, she might have slipped out. So I'm having to look like 3 sheets right now. It's going to get even worse later in the game.
It's one of the reasons I finally plugged in the second monitor.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Yeah, he does actually manage to grapple her. So he's grabbed her. You'll get your attack, but it misses. So now it is actually her turn. She's going to use a class ability, I think. Oh, yeah, she would have done this. Actually, that doesn't work. So she's just going to try to get out. I believe that's...
Escape artist or CMD or CMB. Oh shit.
She gets out. Is that a full round action to get out of a grapple?
No, I think that's just a standard.
Before she was a shopkeep, the old lady was a professional wrestler.
I think that's just a standard action.
He goes to grab this guy and he kicks him right in the groin, and he begins to flee. Sorry.
Does she close the door behind her?
Yeah, she closes the door behind her. Other than that, Merrick, you're flanked.
5-foot step this way. Say, oh, looks like shop is closed. You guys moving on, and we'll take a swing at the guy. One bludgeoning damage.
Kier, you got one of them tied up.
Mm-hmm.
Scuffle is continuing. Shopkeep has fled. What do you do?
Get a better angle on the other dude. Use the selective feature so that it doesn't hit Merrick.
All right.
And try to tangle up the other one.
That will entangle up the other one. So he's got to make a reflex.
Mm-hmm. They keep making those.
Yeah. They're good with their saves, apparently.
19 on the dice.
All right. One of them's going to get pissed off at Kier over here.
I am being an obnoxious little shit, aren't I?
Trying to get over here and sap him up a little bit.
He's getting sappy now.
Should probably take off the Genesis. And he misses.
And the other hit will go against Merrick.
That'll miss.
Okay. She is going to continue up to the second floor of her shop and disappear.
Not surprising that they only need a 6 to hit me, but still.
5-foot step there and take a swing at this guy who is flanked now.
Yep.
I know. So 13. He does have a penalty to his dexterity, so his AC will be a bit lower.
Mm-hmm. By 2.
Yes, but a 13. Well, yeah, no, a 13 is not going to do it.
Okay. I think that's all I got.
Here, they're getting sappy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have any peaceful takedown options.
Mm-hmm.
I don't particularly feel like getting stabby, but and I'm also small, and I assume these are humans.
These are humans, so they're medium size.
I don't want to mad with them. Even if they are thugs.
You can roll a knowledge local or something to see if you can identify what gang or something these guys are from. You can...
Yeah. I'm trained. Yeah. Couldn't have scored much higher anyway. So now I'm completely unaware of what beehive I'm poking.
Just scream at the top of your lungs, I'm coming for you, all of you, your group in particular. This is my name. This is where you can find me. It shows dominance, I swear.
All right.
I'm going to step back and drink my potion of shield. Or not potion, but extract.
Good idea. Good idea.
You know, make it so he has to roll slightly higher than a 6 to hit me. Because they can't count on those ones all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He's going to step up and follow. And one hit, first hit will be against Merrick, second will be against Kier.
Mm-hmm.
Those are before the penalties, so I think that's a -4 all in all. Something like that.
That'll still hit.
Mm-hmm.
So which one was against Mark?
First one. So if you take 4 non-lethal.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You guys hear some shenaniganery going on upstairs, but you can't much tell what's going on up there.
Right. I think Mark will go ahead and risk the being flanked to flank this one and take a swing.
All right.
Yay, finally hit. Well, I assume. Jumping to assumptions there. Finally got a good roll, I should say.
Yeah. All right. Give me a... you will actually hit with that. Give me... it rolled the damage. Is it really just 3 piercing?
Yeah, I don't have a strength bonus.
Oh. Huh.
So it's just a flat D8.
So yeah, you managed to cut this guy up a little bit. Here.
Oh, now I'm curious what sort of shenanigans are happening upstairs.
Check the door now.
Perhaps even tomfoolery.
God forbid it's hoodwinks.
Never that. Only villains do that. Then what? Used it once already. Let's head and frostbomb this guy. Again with the selective feature. Trying to avoid hitting my friend.
Make him frosty. 22 is definitely going to hit. For 6 cold.
Mm-hmm. And 14 fort, or he'll be staggered on his next turn.
All right. -6. And a 14 fort. Well, they're making their saves.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They do.
Much the same. He's just going to step up and attack Kier because he got real cold then.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to leave Merrick to his friend. So first attack on Merrick, second attack on Kier. Those are, I believe, a -4 total right now. So
that'll miss.
Yeah, -4, that'll miss. Otherwise, it was meeting. So
yeah, so they both miss their attacks, and then you guys aren't paying attention to the shop here, but the noise gets your attention as you hear wheels start to you know the sound it makes when like a wheeled thing goes down the stairs, like bump 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 bump.
What the fuck is going on in there?
And she crashes through her shop window.
Yes.
just as the founding fathers intended.
By the way, I think I was muted the entire time. I still can't see anything.
Yeah, those of us not in this fight can't see any of this, so I'm sure it's hilarious.
I'll share. Who can I share here? Just Kier, I guess. Can I give permissions to?
Yeah.
You would need to give us permissions to their sheets.
Nah, I don't like that, but I'll do it so you guys can see what I've done.
Can we
We just not check
create
the
a
sheets.
vision token? Just create a token that is like the camera eye.
Yeah, I'll figure it out before next session.
Honestly, you can just make a character sheet that everyone has access to that's blank and just use it as a vision token.
So it can be edited and controlled by?
Yeah.
Okay.
The shopkeepers
As a tank.
brought their home defense cannon and door installing device.
Nice. I see it now. Carry on.
So it is a normal cannon, though it's unlikely that you've ever seen one in real life before.
Mhm.
They're quite rare in the Pathfinder world.
Mhm.
Yep.
And she has just ridden it down because she is a halfling.
Mhm.
She is going to maneuver the cannon for her turn. Going to push it further out the door. And
That was formerly a wall.
Mark's eyes goes wide. Like,
Merrick, duck.
what the fuck is going on right now? I have no idea what the fuck that is, but it looks like it means business, dude.
That is the largest steel penis on wheels I've ever seen a halfling ride.
Yeah, the last one I saw was half that size.
Merrick, what do you do?
I guess focus attention on this one and not gonna grapple, just going to try to yeah, I'll just take a swing. I was thinking about doing some dirty combat maneuver, but I'll just do a regular attack.
And you keep rolling low on that D8.
Yeah. At least it's the attack roll is the higher one for the time being, because even that was sticking with lower rolls too.
Was that your roll there, the 19?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll hit. And you're hitting the one up there that's currently being hit by the cannon?
Yep. Just to try to distract him.
All right. Kier.
Mm-hmm. Well, I could keep backtracking. I could try. Yeah. Still got plenty of bombs, until something else happens today. This time we'll try a little thermal shock by throwing the regular bomb at him. 14.
Versus touch?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll hit.
So it's in range of splash, so that the 4 doesn't matter.
Fire.
And do you get your precise shot with that?
Actually,
because I'm seeing it says +1 hit to damage.
That'd be 6 fire.
All right.
Probably all of them would have been, but let's not backtrack that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's looking pretty rough at this point. He's been bombed to shit.
Mm-hmm. His friend's about to catch a broadside to the face.
I'm going to roll an intelligence for him to see if he knows how much danger he's in. As I said, cannons are pretty rare in Pathfinder. Mm-hmm. He's going to attack Merrick again.
This is fair.
So they're doing their exact same routine again. Step up and attack.
God, please explode him.
You know how we made jokes about how having 1 HP is 1 whole point? He's about to lose 1 whole point.
-4.
Is the second? Who is the second one against?
Second one's unfortunately against Kier.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm still up, but that's about to knock me unconscious.
All right.
The crit didn't confirm though, did it?
22? Yeah, my AC's 19 at the moment.
But it's 4 less, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 4.
That's that's still not too much better. That puts me at 8 instead of 3.
Yeah.
All right. She is going to take out a match, light the short fuse on this cannon. She's going to make a ranged attack roll at touch AC.
Best time for a natural one I've ever seen.
Is she proficient with cannon?
1d20 plus 7 versus touch. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see this damage.
Damage is something like 6d6 or something.
It's up there.
Yeah, let's roll it.
I want to find the right number, okay? Because I want to make sure we do this right.
Siege engine cannon.
Siege engine cannon.
I know it sucks for the DM, but
68.
I also like to see the ridiculous damage at the end of the fight.
6d8. There we go.
Shred, you say?
Bud. And go.
Yeah, money well spent. Yep. Just a nice pink
What's
mist.
gone? His head or the rest of his body?
Oh, he's gone, and the house behind him's kind of gone.
Has a new window.
Yeah.
Shaped like a person.
All right.
Guaranteed to scare the shit out of Merrick. Just that loud bang that he was not anticipating.
Oh yeah, everyone's ears are ringing.
Hey, Merrick, didn't you have facial hair a moment ago?
All right. Seeing his buddy in danger and still just trying to, everything's muffled. He's going to come down and take a swing.
20 will hit for 4 piercing.
They go in the bludgeoning route, but I don't think it makes a difference.
All right. Oh, yeah, bludgeoning. Kier. You saw a man fucking explode.
I think you're in over your head on this one, bud.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up and leave this guy and escape route.
I didn't know your buddy knew Misty Step.
I just pull out my knife and kind of defensive stance. So. That'll be my turn. Like, whoa. I knew I could make explosives.
This one is going to flee. Are you going to take an attack of opportunity, Merrick?
Yeah, I'll take an attack of opportunity. Yeah.
He's getting away.
Yep.
Unless you chase him down, he is
you better run.
gone.
At this point, Mark's just kind of like flexing his jaw, trying to get his hearing back a bit. Everything is probably still a little muffled.
You see the shopkeeper start pulling out earplugs. She seems very happy with you, but you can't really hear what she's saying.
This will make a fort save. See how long that goes on for.
I'll go ahead and yeah.
Turns out all she's saying is once you go halfling, everything else is baffling.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just gonna say I'd probably just try to just wait a minute for the hearing to come back a bit more clearly.
Yeah. When it comes back, the first thing you would hear is her asking you to help her push the cannon back into the shop.
Oh yes, sir. Wow, what the hell is this thing? And he would get up there and start helping.
A rare artifact from my days with the Arconas.
Definitely came in with a vengeance. That was a hell of a entrance.
Well, I'd never have gotten the chance if it weren't for you distracting them.
Happy to help. If you don't mind me asking, who were those guys?
Just a couple of the Eels and enforcers. They think they can get more money out of us just because the city's in terror. But I'm not scared or nothing.
Merrick looks over. Yeah, clearly, that's one hell of a message you just sent.
Well, it's a good thing the other one decided to run away, because I got to load another cannonball into it, and then you got to wait for the fuse to go off. It was just good timing.
Think as long as they don't know that.
Indeed.
So, well, I'm glad everything worked out well for you. Glad we happened to cross when we did. If you don't mind me asking, what do you sell here?
Well, I sell all sorts of things that come in. I just buy what seems interesting and try to sell it for a profit.
Okay. How much is that piece, just out of curiosity's sake?
More than you can afford.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, we're actually on our way to do something else. Are you good here?
Yeah, I'll probably have to clean up with some business on the storefront next door, but we've always been friends.
Mm-hmm. And I think they'll all appreciate the lesson you just taught these guys.
Indeed. Now, it is going to be hard pushing this thing back up the stairs, so put your back into it.
Yep.
She hasn't gotten off the top, was it?
Got it up. Got it up in the first place.
Well, I had it installed up in the bedroom to as a what do you say? I'm losing my words right now. Memorial piece. I don't know if that's the right word I'm looking for, but
Memorial piece from what?
I used to travel all over the seas.
And you had
Even there,
one of these things on that?
You know?
Are these common on seafaring voyages?
Most ships are outfitted with ballistae.
I was going to say. I think I've heard rumors of this sort of thing, but man, it is a lot more imposing in person.
Well, it's the rarest artifact I've got in my collection.
I'll roll this, see if I get over a 20. Nope, so I don't think Kirk knows quite what black powder is. It definitely knows explosion. So what, how does it work?
She would explain to you the mechanisms of cannonball. You need black powder, you need the ball, you need it's front loaded with this one.
Mark will ask what the fuck is gunpowder?
Nah, it's one of the many exports the Arconas were able to get their hands on back in their trading days. I managed to get myself a hand on a little bit of it myself. I'm not sure I'd even have enough for another shot.
Yeah. So it seems like she's kind of a pawn shop / knick-knack store.
Indeed.
Well, we might have some business to bring by later.
Anytime. I'll remember you two.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. I think with that, Mark will be good to go.
All right.
I just
Bitches
have
love cannons.
Yeah. I just have the mental image of when you're asking, is that common out there in the sea? And it's just, well, and then we just flash cut to the city of Akenstar, which is just the full-on Wild West on Galorian, where just everyone's packing heat at all times.
Yeah, this is an encounter that I made, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
So I'd have to do some research into how rare gunpowder and shit was. And
I
basically,
really
it's a
like
lot
that
of
they
vague
have. I really like that they have Alkenstar because like it clearly shows night and day what would happen versus having magic and not having magic in this world.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't have magic, you're gonna get inventing firearms real quick.
Yeah. I love it that it's just one city-state that's near impossible to invade because there's a vast desert around it, and anyone coming at them has to just get the shit shot out of them without magic before they can reach them.
Yeah, so I hadn't considered that you guys wouldn't actually be able to see this map if you weren't on it, but unfortunately, it didn't get the comedic slide in of the cannon.
I'm sure I can go back and watch it later.
Yep.
But other than that, you guys will probably get to your meeting place.
I will inform everyone that Luca's daughter was not sold or given, but was forcefully taken from Gadrin.
Interesting.
Yeah, no luck from the Sable Company. They have no information on the Keylog killer nor Nor your daughter.
Didn't expect that.
Yeah, we did make friends with a merchant if we want to get some of the other items maybe looked at.
And if any of you are in the market for a cannon, saw a perfect.
Bitches love cannons.
I saw a very impressive demonstration.
Mm-hmm. Also, we may have made enemies with whoever the hell the eels are.
I mean, if they know who we are.
Do I know the eel gang? Or can I do a local?
Just off the top, you heard them say Eel's End, and you know where Eel's End is. Eel's End is there's a gang that runs out of it. It's a sort of a dock. It's a dock that's sort of a long ways off the shore with these wooden planks that lead off, and there's ships there that manage to navigate around having to pay the city property taxes by running all of their stores out of ships on the water accessible from the docks. They pay the Eel's End gang for protection there because the Korvosan Guard doesn't patrol there for the same reason they're able to get away with their taxes.
Is that near where Gadrin was?
Yeah, that's going to be in Old Korvosa.
If we're serious about this mercenary or this vigilante thing, they are shaking down local businesses. I don't particularly know where they're based out of, but I'm still reluctant to take that much of the law into my hands, but we did eliminate Gadrin.
Oh, there's no indication that these ELNs are connected to what we're investigating.
No, just another thing.
Yes.
Another thing rotten in the city.
They are taking advantage of the circumstances to disrupt trade, the merchants in the town.
I would like to help with that, but my daughter takes pressing matters, or takes more concern for me. Though it might be a good way to get into good graces with locals if we wind up dealing with them in order to get more information out of people. But we don't really have any leads at the moment. Has anyone heard of anything? I couldn't get any information. The only way I could find out anything would be from people who are too busy with the riots to deal with me, apparently, in their words.
I wasn't able to find anything on your daughter, my friend. I'm sorry. Was anyone able to track down one of the orphans to see if they had heard anything about your daughter?
I believe I already conveyed that information.
Yeah.
Oh, you got that from an orphan.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking of all the stuff we pilfered from Gideon. Do we want to look over it a little more closely, see if it's somehow related, if there's any clues? Because I remember there's some stuff that seemed significant to ring that had some sort of engraving on and stuff like that.
So I took everything I collected that you all did not take back to my vault. I've looked over it. That ring belonged to a lady named Emma, whose husband is also in the guard. Out of character, guard or Sable Company? Because I'm finally starting to click on which one is which.
Korvosan Guard.
Okay. Her husband's in the guard, and he had given her the ring. I returned it to her.
Oh, so you returned the ring?
I did.
Okay.
But she was a very nice woman. I'm sure she would talk if it means anything to you. I didn't see any type of lead there.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't seem like she'd have any connection to this.
I also took the ledgers that we found. I was able to decode a system that Gideon Gadrin was using to do his own bookkeeping of all of his nefarious affairs, and I turned that into the Corvosian Guard. Hopefully it will help them solve a few crimes.
Or allow them to profit from it.
In
Just like-
your
Head nod.
did you read through it all? Like, do you know if there are any ties to like that Yule gang or whatever?
Can he jog his memory? Do just kind of a memory check to see if he remembers that being mentioned in there, the Ill gang.
You sold the ledger, so we'll say give me a wisdom.
Okay.
I feel like wisdom would be most associated with memory.
I'm sorry.
Maybe.
I was mostly infatuated with the numbers and the figures and defatuated. What the fuck does 15B plus 2 racial mean? Oh, base? 15 base? Okay. No, I'm afraid I was mostly focused on just deciphering the code, and once I had done so, I realized that it was all illegal bookkeeping and turned it into the authorities. There are some other items I haven't yet given much thought to that I have. There were a couple of figurines, a holy symbol of Shaylin, pretty unique in my opinion. Cigar cases, things that didn't have any leading marks on them, like an inscription on a ring or clear ledger of illicit activity. So I have not pursued them yet, but I can bring them. We can meet at the house again tomorrow and go through them, see if we get any ideas.
Couldn't hurt. I'm kind of running on leads myself. Anybody else have any suggestions on where we could potentially start our search?
The only thought I have, it's not guaranteed to work, and some of you may find it gruesome work. We take to Old Corvosa by night, find some isolated thugs, see who had any beef with Gadrin that they might want to break in. We might have to get messy.
Target anything in particular, or just whatever criminals are afoot that night?
Whoever we find.
Well, I like where you're going with that, but why not go after two birds with one stone and purposefully target this Eel End gang?
That can work.
That would work. And if anyone has best underground connections, we might be able to use them to find out where what's his name? Yargen Balko might be in hiding. And since he'd be the best chance we have of finding out who might know the man who took my child, could be him. Because, one of them is dead, so we don't really know
Well,
what
maybe
they
some
might
of
have
this
known.
Eel End group may know something of Yargen. My sources say that Yargen dabbled with many different groups.
So yeah, one thing in asking around about the Keylok Killer is apparently he's been inactive for years now. So I'm kind of curious, what do you think it's
What
somebody
brought
who
him
might?
back out?
Yeah, I mean, seems like it must be personal for him to specifically raid Gideon's and take your girl, and I think
That is puzzling. I'm not quite sure what to make of it, and I honestly don't have the brain power to comprehend what could be happening here.
Wait, so the one who invaded and took your daughter, you think was the Keylok Killer?
According
I mean-
to Gadrin.
But at the same time, there's something in the loot, right? Wasn't there like a dagger shaped like a key or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, I have a dagger that's shaped like a key. So
If you guys go to your loot handout, under it is all of the notable loot that has.
And it's also this
Yeah.
brooch.
I marked everything. I know Luca took a bunch of stuff.
yeah, I took
put in there-
a crown, a bar of gold that had some design on
Shit.
it.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure
And-
those are just for selling.
Yeah, probably. And then I took that knife.
Have we had that knife been appraised by anyone yet?
I brought it to the Hell Knights I'm working with,
Mhm.
and they confirmed that it is most likely a knife used by the same killer.
Is there well, I guess it probably wouldn't be a maker's mark on it.
I mean, that would be a question. Does it have anything like that?
Other than the signature of being shaped with a key-like edge, not really.
We could always start asking around at blacksmiths around here, because
It does have the inscription for an inspiration of a father.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is designed specifically for you, man.
And you
Yeah, I'm
have
starting to think
the
that too.
mysterious brooch. Didn't you take that as well?
No, you
Yeah, I
have
think-
that.
At it, Vic. So I think that's actually in your locker, unless you brought it out.
Yeah, because
Okay,
that's the one
I
that
thought
has
somebody
ties
else
to
had that.
the
So-
queen.
This list that was loot was originally just everything that hadn't been claimed, and then so there may be stuff missing off here that I thought had been taken by people. I'm adding mysterious brooch.
Well, it has its own handout.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it has
it-
its own handout. So
If you look, there's a loot tab, and under it is the miscellaneous loot, which is all written down, and then there's a notable loot that has images. Makes
Should at least
it easier for you. I just did this because I thought it would look neat for the players. It makes it easier to make everything text. But
No, I mean this loot tab was empty. I had just copy pasted what you had listed last time.
could we perhaps utilize the Esmeralda? Because at this point, like, Luca doesn't really believe in tarot card readings, but he's like, if she is as capable as she was when she was dead, maybe we could utilize her and do an attempt at a reading to get a clue.
Yeah.
I am out of ideas, and she hasn't spoken with us today. I mean, look over at Vic. You have access to her.
regarding the brooch last time, someone did do a knowledge nobility and found out that it was worth 2,000 gold pieces and belongs to the queen.
Yeah.
I have that written down.
Oh, wow. Okay. Adding that stuff now. And I'm going to put Vic next to all this loot stuff that I think Vic has. Because I think really the only thing that got claimed was a dagger by Barrow Walker, and Luca claimed like 3 or 4 specific
That was
things.
just the masterwork dagger that Gadrian used. It wasn't even like from the loot stash.
I got a few things.
Well,
Yeah, I
since
got-
we're out of leads on that, we might as well see what we can do about this brooch.
I mean, I don't think we're necessarily out leads on the dagger. I mean, worst case scenario, we
Dagger
could
is
go
the
around.
most important piece that we have.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think we could probably ask around blacksmiths and see if they might know who crafted it.
I mean, it couldn't hurt.
And I think, Luca, I think you need to really rack your head or consider if he's been gone for however long, maybe he got arrested on a different crime, and now he's taking something personally against you.
I don't know. I'll have to keep it in mind and see if I only know one other person that might be involved with some crime stuff, and that is my wife. So that could be a fun conversation.
Does not sound like it would be.
Yeah. Yeah. So we should split our efforts on that. Who's going to follow up on the knife?
I'll go with whoever wants to check out blacksmiths because I'll probably need some mental support when I go to visit my wife and mother.
Wait. 2 separate people, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I've lived in this town a long time, but that is not one of those things. No, my mother and wife both blame me for my child going missing. And I don't blame them. I kind of blame myself as well.
All the more reason to bring her back.
Sides with your ex.
Yeah, I'll tag along and join in the blacksmith searching.
Yeah, might as well, right? Best lead we have so far, really.
And Kier, you said you were going to investigate the brooch. Anyone going with Kier?
I'll escort Kier. Go bodyguard mode. I feel like going in groups would be the smarter play at the moment.
Oh, Kier, do you want me to help patch you up a little bit? Or are you feeling all right? It was the non-lethal damage, so I'm not sure how much it... Okay.
It goes away at like 1 hour, so probably still a little bruised, but
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I'll take any healing that you have. I'm at 10 of 17.
Have you not been healing each night?
I have, but I only heal 4 hit points per night.
Okay.
Here,
I'll do a quick channel to top.
Out of character. Did you not forget me being mauled by a gator?
That's fair. That's fair. All right. So yeah, I'll pop a channel to get the 3 of us.
We didn't heal you up after that? Here you go.
No, no one did.
I was out of heals at that point.
All right,
Alright,
so that's
that-
10 on top of that.
Yeah, I'll put me out to max.
All right. So it's Merrick, Luca, and Vic investigating the knife, Kier and Barrow investigating the brooch.
The knife?
seems to be.
Or where do you want to go, Vic?
I'm more interested in the brooch, unless y'all want me with you.
I
Plus,
feel like
we gotta get it out of the vault.
I feel like if there's going to be danger, it's going to more likely be connected to the brooch than the knife. Given
Especially
the
since,
riot.
all the riots, yeah. seem to
Yeah,
be
I was
about-
going to say. Like, I feel like if we needed force of numbers, it would be Team Brooch.
Yeah, I'm going to go Team Brooch.
All right.
If you're that worried,
Team brooch.
should we travel in a large group? It might attract more attention, though.
I'd say we can
There-
keep the split.
Okay.
But
There's safety in the clump.
I'm fine with doing the split task thing, but I just wanted to ask.
the clump does not judge; it only hates. I will
So
never
it is-
stop quoting that from Texas Speech Device.
You guys are splitting up, or you guys aren't?
We are.
Okay. So Team Brooch, what's your approach?
I think
Oh,
Kier's
I
taking the lead
figured.
on this.
You have to answer in a rhyme.
I was figuring tonight that I would ask around the barracks when we went back, but then tomorrow, maybe take the thing to the shop we just befriended to have it appraised and see if they know anything.
I think, and I'll voice this as Barrow Walker. I think the fewer people in law enforcement know about you having that item, the better.
I was not going to say I have it, but that I had seen someone making off with it, perhaps.
Yeah, you'd be able to gather basically the information you already knew. The Queen had the brooch stolen from her at some point recently. Those are a reward out of 2,000 gold pieces for the brooch to anyone who can recover it.
Guys, I think he really wants us to turn in that brooch.
I would like to.
Almost like
Has
I'm
it-
sitting in session waiting for you to.
Perhaps it's a meeting with the
That barely heard what
Queen.
you said.
Would I have an opportunity to detect evil, or not detect evil, detect magic on the brooch?
Yeah, you can detect magic on the brooch.
Okay.
It is not magical.
Just out of
It is
curiosity.
a mundane piece of jewelry.
It's a substantial reward. But But the question then is, who would actually want to present it? Vic
I'm
probably
fine.
has the best claim to have come about it legally. Given who he works for.
I feel only my presence would be the one that would not be conducive to that meeting.
It's high hopes that we would get to actually speak to the Queen. Odds are some lackey will deal with us.
Oh, most certainly, but it's also possible that the reward is a trap.
I'm
trap.
happy to take it
Whoever-
in.
That whoever they brings it in will then have to account for how they came by it, whereas you could claim that it was on a body in some defunct place that you were inspecting for the bank.
It
perhaps.
was actually on bank property.
It was actually on a body that you found on bank property.
Yeah.
They don't have to know we made the body.
Exactly.
Purely out of character, I don't think many people would cry bitter tears if we're like, oh yeah, no, we totally stabbed that Gadrin dude. Like, he seemed like
Yep.
famously an asshole.
Yeah.
A little D&D logic here.
But at the same time, I think may want to dance around the fact that we're involved with Gideon in a way.
I gotta ask, are you purposely calling him Gideon?
Is that not what the name is?
It's Gadrin.
Gadrin?
Gadrian. Okay.
I was gonna.
I wasn't sure if you were doing that on
Gadrin.
purpose at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of in character and out.
I put his name in the chat with a little asterisk
Yeah.
the first
Oh.
time, but then
Gotcha.
I decided I was going to ignore it until the end of the session.
Gotcha. I'll just say my characters really suck at names, just like I am.
I mean,
I feel
fuck
that.
it. If we're gonna turn in this amulet to the Queen, let's just nut up and do it. Fine.
Should
Should we all go?
Brought away in a vault.
Yeah, I say we all, except for maybe Barrow Walker, return the amulet then, because it might make more sense that, we saw in a kerfuffle as a group that we're trying to help the community.
If all of us are going, then I'll tag along too, because one
Mhm.
dude wearing a scarf in a group of 5 is less conspicuous than one dude wearing a scarf in a group of 2.
I will say, though, if we all go, the truth and the importance of I found it on a bank property goes out the window when I say me and 4 of my non-affiliated associates happen to be visiting a bank property with me for no other reason than to visit and inspect the bank
On the
property.
day we first met, even.
Well,
I feel like Vic has this pretty well, single-handedly.
yeah, I just wasn't sure if you wanted to go in alone, because I could also say, because they don't know me personally, but I could be acting as, like, basically I was his hired guard while he went to go foreclose on this building or whatever.
I mean,
So we don't leave
all
him
could.
alone.
We could all. I'm speaking purely out of character. We could technically all use that argument. I mean,
Yeah.
what? We never cleared out squatters of a repossessed
Yep.
territory.
Yeah. I mean, Vic wants to go alone. I'm fine with that too.
Oh
but
yeah, no.
bringing
If
up ideas.
he wants to stick his head in Fenris's mouth, that's his business. But
I'm in no fear of physical harm here. If you all want to come with me in case there's some kind of great celebration of our triumph, then I don't want to exclude you from the fame that you may gain.
Honestly,
I was
there-
more hoping that they would, with this reward, they might take my request of looking in for my daughter a little bit more seriously. But that, honestly, now that I'm saying it out loud, probably doesn't seem like very likely scenario.
I would
Honestly.
say almost 0.
honestly, I'm just kind of intrigued to see if that could give us a bit of insight to what the fuck's going on up there that's causing all the rioting. Because things have been kind of hush-hush, haven't they?
Yes. The only official statement you've heard is by Marcus, who, if anything, started sowing discontent within the populace during his speech. So, yeah, things are pretty rough right now.
So first thing next session, we turn in the brooch.
Suck it, city dwellers.
Second,
Do we want to?
use the 200 gold to make our grand escape from this fucking city.
All right, let's go straight to Skull and Shackles.
I feel like we should go ahead and stop it here because that seems like a good starting point for next session.
Yeah, that is.
Sorry, Michael, we spent the entire session farting around the key plot line. I know what it's like to be on the other end of the screen from that.
Listen, it happens. We all have to accept this.
Yes.
You guys asked a lot of questions. That shit I didn't write down, so I gotta, I gotta improv.
Yeah.
Yep. I hear you.
There was nothing written about that ring cope.
It was meant for selling,
it
I'm
was
sure.
the only thing with an engraving on it, and they
And it
didn't
was-
think that we would pursue that. That's weak.
Yeah,
I
it
will
wasn't the-
say I've done this a few times, like with the other group too. That if I start noticing and go too far up the rung tree, like with that ring thing, I think it's 100% fine for the game master to go, okay, I'll just level with you guys. There's nothing here. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
And
there-
one
you guys-
problem is my character Abadar, like he doesn't steal or loot for profit, so it's kind of a rock and a hard place there.
Mhm.
I'm gonna RP it through, and I've got a plan for it for how it will work with looting to profit our group to help us better expedite, whatever adventure we're on.
Mhm.
But he ain't there yet. Right now, he's holding it.
oh, yeah.
Which next session
For a bunch of
we're fine to sell.
vigilantes, we're remarkably upstanding.
We're
Well,
all
there's a bunch of
very-
guys to do in the meantime. I will also say, you guys might want to keep in mind, almost the entire adventure happens in this city.
Mhm.
So if you guys keep splitting yourselves up in this city,
Yeah, that's fair. Well,
the
it's
encounters are going to be harder.
it's just one of those things where it's like early on, it feels like it makes sense that we're slightly dispersed,
But
but then
one
we're
thing
gonna
gets more
we're gonna
threats.
slowly start coalescing as we start putting stuff together.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's why
It's like-
for turning in the brooch, that's why I was saying if we all go, I'm definitely going to be there because as I said, like if there's 5 people, one dude who's just like the eccentric that wears a hood is less suspicious than, hi, I'm the creepy dude from the alley. Here's your brooch, give me money.
Yeah, no,
and he doesn't even need to speak. If we all 5 go,
Yeah.
then we need to be upfront with what happened.
We need to
I
remember
don't
that
need to just like try and dodge the thing by saying, "Oh, it was a bank activity," and I think that's fine too. I think all 5 of us could go, and we could just say we were pursuing criminal activity on bank property, and we found this on one of the dead bodies.
I think it's critically important for us to not forget that Galorian is a world that has the Pathfinder Society in it, which is an entire organization of global adventurers. Do you know how many masked katana-wielding weirdos there must be running around out there?
Mhm.
Like, let's really take a moment to acknowledge where the baseline of weird behavior is in this world.
Sure. Absolutely.
Murder hobos.
And I think, like y'all said, they're not going to be sad that we,
Yeah.
revenge the death of all of our siblings by killing this criminal ring when we're. I think I've run it by Michael. Like his position as an inquisitor with the Church of Abadar, they're often given by government permission to pursue thieves guilds that are not in line with the government.
Also, the reason I was pointing out before, I didn't do a good job explaining it about traveling together to return in the amulet, is because I think we all would be bringing up the fact that people keep getting into fights every fucking second because the city's a wreck, and if we're gonna go do this, it'd probably be good to have multiple people going.
Yeah.
Simply because the chances of getting mugged on the way to there is probably pretty high, and if you're alone, it's a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, and I know
and
for
carrying this brooch, I would say I can usually avoid trouble, but that's because I'm smart enough not to carry anything on me, and so I just give up what I have. If I'm in disguise in character, Vic would say, but it would be very nice if I'm carrying a $2,000 Queen's brooch and I'm fated with returning it. It might be nice to have an escort to get it there.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, and I think we're all definitely seeing that the streets are getting a lot more violent. Like that's definitely what Marek is taking away. Oh shit, they're just out in
Like
the open now.
I've
Fuck.
had that drunken bar fight, but otherwise I've been fine. But
Yeah.
y'all have been getting into all kinds of fights.
I mean, I just walked past my thing. I don't know what you guys.
Yeah, but you're weird.
Mark's
fine.
got
Yeah,
a bit of a
Merrick went and stuck his head in a fucking mobster collection hour.
He's Mark is actually kind of inspired by Barrow Walker. You know, there's that charm about the vigilante lifestyle that he's probably fantasizing in his head a fair amount.
Probably,
but at the same
considering
time,
that I don't, other than killing Gaedren, I don't think I've actually fought any crime.
right? But he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
You were given the chance, but you refused the call of a ginger
Yep.
boy.
Mark's thinking about those copper novels that he
Yeah.
read,
Mm.
where the supervillain or superhero always wore a mask and worked in the graveyard.
Yeah,
Barrow
conveniently. But no, I'll do stuff later, Michael. I'm just working my way up to it. You know, you don't want to start at the end of a character arc.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
And I think
I like the slow build. I think
Yeah.
we as a group are all appreciating the fact that it's very nice to crawl at the first stages because it gets so fast. Once we get level 8, 9, 10,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
boom, 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 we're through a book. Boom, boom, we're through a book. And so,
And I think
Like even though we didn't get much accomplished for this session, I did have a good time.
yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
absolutely.
I
This
did
is also
too.
like
And
us building our characters, like
our
development
Yeah.
and
characters
stuff, like little
totally
things.
developed. And we
Yeah.
developed between each other and learned it out loud, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm definitely
Michael.
enjoying this
Look,
opportunity to
Michael,
explore
next
each other.
session, you can just skip and we'll all just talk to each other in character.
You can just follow the recording on YouTube.
You come back and there's just like endless inside jokes among our characters.
I mean, I'm fine with whatever. We did a bunch of city encounters today because we hadn't done any before because I was trying to get through.
Yeah.
Ironically, the opposite problem of last session, but
Yeah.
we didn't really get through much of the main plot, way less than I thought we would.
Mhm.
Because I think you guys forgot the brooch existed until
Yeah.
halfway through.
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
knew it
why
was
I
there,
was
but like again, my
Well,
character is
Yeah, our priority was
Block-eyed
safe little
focus.
girl. You know.
Yeah. All right. So
My
out of
defense,
character,
I didn't look through the loot pile when we found it, so
if we hold out on returning the brooch, do you think the reward will increase?
I wouldn't
Got
risk it.
I will real life slap you.
It's gonna get to the point where they're just gonna hunt us down with like a scrying spell on the amulet and then claim that we're the thieves.
Yeah.
You guys
Oh, so-
just do your roleplay sessions, and I'll describe the actual adventures doing the plot. Happen around.
So, and,
Stop stealing the joke I was going to use when you get to Kingdom Building and Sons of Damerhall, Michael.
so I just want to point out just a thought that kind of came across my mind with the notion of Cope's character dropping off the brooch by himself, getting mugged. If we're on our way to drop off the brooch and we have a random encounter, we somehow lose.
Mhm.
Those people that mugged us, will we just jump into their characters because they take the brooch and they pick up the
absolutely.
story? that would be an awesome character transition.
Gum Tug and Fishfucker. Yep.
Dibs on Fishfucker. Bring back Bogomil.
Why is he called Fishfucker? His wife's a mermaid. Oh. Well, that's actually quite nice.
Be quiet, Toady.
Why you call
Oh,
you that?
God, I
fuck
will be
toads.
To be fair, it is the inverted mermaid specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very specific.
Female legs, fish.
Well, how would that have worked otherwise? Let's
Yeah,
be real.
exactly. Exactly.
Anyway, guys, I am tired as fuck. I am going to head out because I need
All right.
to sleep.
Have a good night.
I look forward to next week and the inevitable sudden death of more characters.
Yeah, kill you off like Dark Souls.
Yeah. Anyway, see ya.